Eminence. Go throw them knees up in the air.
9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing downs over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL Live, tuning you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on a stream, 8 p.m. on a beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commish. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them.
What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And of course, I have to welcome back my fantastic co-host, Diggy, and special guest. Hi, baby. Oh, man. So how you doing?
Good. You know, doing this at a little different time. It's kind of nice, But no, she didn't go down for a nap today, so
okay.
She's in here with me. This is Gianna.
Very nice.
One of the 4 kiddos.
Okay, Whew, you said 4. I got half that.
She's my youngest.
Beautiful too. I got half that, and I'm just glad I have my hair still because I can't imagine 4. But thank you guys for joining us this evening. Tonight we actually have a lot of guests on, so Diggy and I are going to kind of go through things a little bit quicker than we normally would. Because, well, first off, we will go over week 3 action. We'll make our pick'ems for week 4 really quickly. And then we have our hot topic question from Max Steele. Can we choose different locations for championship games to cut down on the perceived home field advantage? And then I'll have co-owner and wide receiver Tony Zuma, through Tony Zuma, I should say, James Cline of Queen City. I have defensive end Robert Brady Jr. from Denver, free safety and GM Jstin Reside from Vegas, owner Mighty RX, aka Max Pau from Florida, and co-owner and strong safety Doug Day from Seattle Nemesis. And I just added linebacker Keenan Samuels from Baltimore too. So like I said, star-studded show.
It sounded like a 5-hour show.
Bro, almost.
Not
that bad.
You heard it here first. I heard you say I'm getting replaced. As co-host.
Stop it. I mean, she's very cute, so you might. I don't know. But so we're going to go over week 3 scores. Okay. 5. The Arizona Scorpions took on the Queen City Corsairs, where Arizona won 40-28. I was right about this game. Louisiana took on Jacksonville Kings. Louisiana won 34-31. I was wrong about this one. Las Vegas Fury took on the London Knights, where London won 48-31. I was also wrong about this game, but Seattle Nemesis battled the Indianapolis Ramblers, where Indy won. And I was right about this game at 38-35. Canton Classics battled the Denver Nightwings, where Denver won 12-3. I was wrong about this game. The Baltimore Vultures battled the DC Dragons, where Baltimore won 45-20, and I was right about that one. San Diego Mavericks took on the Motor City V8s, and San Diego won 35-27. I was right about this game. Portland Fleet took on the Los Angeles Vikings, where Portland won 24-16. I was right about this game. The Tulsa Desperados took on the Florida Storm, where Tulsa won 31-27. I was also right about this game. Sioux Falls Sparrows battled the Minnesota Legends, where Minnesota won 38-23. I was also right about this one. Charleston Predators took on the Alamo City Artillery, where Alamo City won 21-13. I was right about this game. The Atlanta Swarm battled Vancouver Legion, where Atlanta won 12-9. I was right about this game. Final game was the Mexico City Aztecs battling the Houston Hyenas, where Houston won 17-6, and I was right about this game. All right, Diggy. So how many did we get right, and how many did we get wrong this week?
I got 6 right, 7 wrong. You got 10 right, 3 wrong. So our totals for the season so far, since we missed week 1, it is I'm 13 out of 26, and you're 17 out of 26. So you can think you're going to build that lead early, but I take chances. I can't play it safe.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? Sometimes playing it safe actually helps you win. So,
well, I would like to win knowing I went all out.
Oh, okay, cool. So when you're handed that L because you went all out, just don't be surprised. But what game stuck out to you this week?
I did like you said. I'm just going to go a little bit quicker with this one. I did Sioux Falls and Minnesota as my first game. Sioux Falls started off with field goal going up 3-0, but Colin Hart for Minnesota had an amazing game, 136 yards on the first 2 carries to start out his game. With one of those carries going for a touchdown to make it 7-3. Johnny Reno continues to still impress. Even Komisak is back to his old self for Minnesota. I kind of figured that when he went over there. We kind of see glimpses of the used to be, and he's here, and he's a big deal, man. So congrats to him. Minnesota got up 28-3 before Sioux Falls was able to find Jason Williams in the end zone to make it 10-28. Eventually got another touchdown, 17-28. They looked like they were coming back. Minnesota played a strong run game. Got Komisak back in the end zone to go up 35-17. Sioux Falls put up a tough fight against a tough Minnesota team as they answered back with another Williams touchdown, 23-35. But Minnesota pulled off a great win as they kicked a little field goal to close it out, 23-38. I mean, it was a fun game. So if you like a big run game, that was the game for you.
Indeed. Well, of course, I had to go with Arizona Scorpions and Queen City as my first game. We won the game 40-28. Arizona, 325 yards passing, 198 yards rushing, 523 yards total. We held the ball 23 minutes, 33 seconds, and 1 mistake. I didn't have any mistakes. My bad. We scored 7 in the first, 17 in the second, 3 in the third, and 13 in the fourth quarters. Queen City had 316 yards passing, 71 yards rushing for 387 yards total. Their time of possession was only 20 minutes, 23 seconds with 1 mistake. They scored 14 in the second points, 7 points in the third and fourth quarters. Player of the game was DJ Moses, the second, 19 carries for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 11 points per carry. Fantastic game. DJ went straight off. TJ Punk also had a touchdown. His longest reception was 69 yards. Everett Garrison had an interception. Alex Constantine and Dede Sachs both had 2 sacks each on rookie quarterback John Lakeman, and Joseph Saboka received a sack, which is, kind of rare. I have to talk to my O-line about that. But, and Deezer Powell actually had 3 touchdowns and finished up with 169 yards out of 5 receptions. So, they played a heck of a game. Do not count Queen City out. We just had the better game plan at that moment. Who do you have next?
I had Seattle and Indy, and it was a great job by Eddie calling that game as well.
Yes.
Seattle started off strong against Indy, getting a touchdown in the first, but by Dean Jackson. Shout out to Roosevelt for Indy on his touchdown, but Baloo Scott answered back with a Russian TD. This game was back and forth early, but Seattle got ahead 21-13. Kanye Rockefeller had a really strong punt return and got Indy going again. They were able to tie it up at 21 in the third. Shout out to one of my old teammates, Gus Scott, for a big touchdown to put Seattle back up. But it continued again to go back and forth. They tied it up at 35 again, and Indy had an amazing interception at the end of the fourth, leading to a game-winning field goal. So another good game.
Another high-scoring game was the Las Vegas Fury taking on the London Knights, where London won 48-31. Las Vegas had 409 yards passing, but only 70 yards rushing. 479 yards total. They held the ball for only 18 minutes and 52 seconds. But what I think hurt them was the 6 turnovers that they had. They scored 17 points in the second quarter and 14 points in the fourth only. London, 425 passing, 108 yards rushing, 533 total. They held the ball for 25 minutes, 8 seconds with 2 mistakes, scored 21 points in the first quarter, 7 points in the second, 10 points in the third and fourth quarters. Player of the game was Robert Merrill, Robert Merrill, running back, with 21 carries for 89 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 109 reception yards and 2 reception touchdowns. Shout out does go out to Fox Highwind and Tylon Steele for their touchdowns, and Jack Russell for 3 interceptions, Brandon Earwig for 2 interceptions, and for Tony Roberto with 1. William Davidson for 2 sacks, and Cam Frosby and Tony Roberto each had 1 sack as well. On Vegas side of things, Jstin Reside got an interception, Anthony Stover had 2 sacks, and Doug Britton and Mason Kirby both had reception touchdowns. So, who is your last game, Diggy?
I picked Portland versus the Lycans. And Portland was able to get up with a passing touchdown in the first, followed up later with a huge pick 6 by Morris, making it 14-0. It was 17-6 at the half. During the third, Chris Lee had one heck of a catch, shaking off a defender. That was a must-see. Scoring a deep touchdown, making it 17-13. They all played well, but Portland scored a rushing touchdown to make it 24-13 and ended up, holding strong, and the game was closed out 24-16. But, the Lycans fought hard that game.
Yes, they did. And, I think the Lycans will get over that hump that they're in. Next up, or lastly, I should say, San Diego Mavericks taking on the Motor City V8s. Mavericks won 35-27. San Diego had 265 yards passing, 123 rushing, 388 total. They held the ball 22 minutes and 9 seconds with 2 mistakes. They scored 14 points in the first quarter and 7 points in the second, third, and fourth quarters. Scoring in every quarter does make a difference. Motor City had 365 yards passing, 62 yards rushing for 427 yards total. They held the ball 21 minutes, 51 seconds, but 6 turnovers. Again, turnover bug killed them. 7 points in the first, 13 in the second, and 7 in the fourth quarters. Player of the game was quarterback Scar Patterson with 25 completions, 40 attempts, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 85 100.9. Shout out to Motor City V8's King Rashid coming up with 2 interceptions, and Christopher Dean, Oren Darby, and Shane Coffin all had touchdowns. But San Diego defensive Ryan Claudio and Eric Hammer had a sack apiece, while Tom Krieg and Tanner Hendricks both received 2 interceptions, while Zach Holdorf and Stuart Zamella each had 1 interception. So great games to watch. If you did not get a chance to watch them, please go back. Some of them were very good defensive battles. So you just had a little bit of mix of everything. But our picks for week 4. Now, this list is actually what is on the website as of right now. We don't have the actual listing of how it's actually going to be, unfortunately. But the London Knights will be taking on the Canton Classes at Fatherhood Festival Field. Who do you have, Diggy?
I'm going London on this one.
Okay. I chose London as well. We're going to see. Alamo City will be taking on the DC Dragons at Lord Destro Production Stadium. Who do you have?
I'm going to go DC.
All right. I'm going to go with Alamo City on this one. Just kind of spice things up a bit. Las Vegas Fury will be taking on the San Diego Mavericks. Ooh, good game at Gold Star Memorial Field, Trick Jersey Stadium. Who do you have?
I'm going to go San Diego. San Diego's just got too big of a high hand right now.
Indeed, I have to agree. I'm going San Diego as well. Jacksonville Kings will be taking on the Atlanta Swarm at the Hive. Diggy, who do you have?
Jacksonville kind of fell off a little bit last week, but I'm still very impressed with what they've accomplished and done over there. Mm-hmm. But I think Atlanta at home is going to be just a little bit too much.
I agree. I think I have Atlanta winning, especially at home. Pretty much unstoppable, but we'll see. Minnesota Legends will be taking on the Vancouver Legion at King Coast Stadium. Who do you have?
It is hard to root against Minnesota at all right now. And, just when you think they can't do any better, that they pull what they pulled last week and just show you they can do whatever they want. So I'm going Minnesota.
Yep, I have to agree. Minnesota has had the hot hand, as you said, with San Diego Mavericks. They just seem to be on the progressions mesh together really well, and they are the team to beat right now. So yeah, Minnesota. Mexico City Aztecs will be taking on the Charleston Predators at Fort Moultrie Memorial Stadium. Who do you have?
This should be a good game still, but I'm gonna go for Mexico City this week.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to take Mexico City as well. Seattle Nemesis will be taking on the Los Angeles Vikings at Stack Up Stadium, I should say. Who do you have?
This one will be good as well because somebody's going to come away with their first win of the season. So I am going to go with Seattle over Los Angeles at home.
I agree. Seattle over Los Angeles. Los Angeles does have a lot to prove with their offense, and right now they just haven't been doing as well as I believe that they can do. Correction, Stack Up Stadium is actually for Louisiana Revolution on the website. For some reason, it does have Stack Up Stadium, so little error there, but it's all right.
Maybe they're sharing this week.
Maybe. Indianapolis Ramblers will be taking on the Louisiana Revolution at Stack Up Stadium. So who do you have?
A double feature at Stack Up Stadium. Man.
Right.
No, as much as I love Chad and those guys over there, I'm going to go with Louisiana this week.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I picked Louisiana, and just so y'all know, I do have all my stuff marked. I'm not just copying Diggy.
Yeah, don't be trying to change it later.
No, like I said, I have my stuff marked. I don't have little notations all over my stuff.
So I mark right here.
Fort Worth Toros taking on the Carolina Skyhawks at David A. Richard Memorial Stadium. I will go first. I am picking Fort Worth Toros. I believe that Carolina is doing their thing, but I think Fort Worth just has them edged out a little bit. Who do you have?
I went with Fort Worth as well because I think it's a little bit more steady with them. Mm-hmm. Carolina, it's hard to go against them because, like I've said before, they have this fight in them that they never think they're out of it, and they do these great comebacks. Mm-hmm. But I have to go with Fort Worth this week.
All right. And of course, the Motor City V8s will be taking on the Arizona Scorpions. Of course, Arizona, you know. Florida Storm, last game, Florida Storm will be taking on the Portland Fleet. Should be a good game at the shipyards. I think that this will be Florida Storm's first win of the season.
That's what I picked.
Okay.
I picked Florida this week. I see what you're doing here. You only give me one game this week to try to make a comeback. I see your moves.
Yeah, well, I guess great minds think alike. Did you ever think about that?
No, you're trying to play chess over here. That's what it is. Man, if I drag this out, I'm up 4 games. So if I pick every game he picks for the next 4 weeks, except for one, I'll stay winning.
But how would I know that? I don't live with you, so how would I know that? Exactly.
Right now, you let me go first down the list there, and then you make it like I'm confident.
Nuts. Hot topic question of the week. Should we choose different locations for the championships games to be played to cut down on the perceived home field advantage? This was a question asked in our suggestions box by Max the Steel 3.0. Thank you so much for that, Max. What do you think, Diggy?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, even if it came down, they can make it a kind of community-based, kind of like the NFL, votes on certain cities and says, hey, we got it knocked down to 6 possible locations for the next 2 Super Bowls, and go from there. I mean, it'd be a good interactive thing to get the community involved in with that. If it came down to a vote, where would you like to see it? And then just kind of rotate it. I mean, I think it's good. I mean, you could move it wherever you want it to.
Indeed. I mean, I think that'd be a good idea. I'm not sure how it would work out in the grand scheme of things as far as AI wise, but, I do know that there are teams that, like NFL, for instance, I think that whoever has the home, the best record has the game. But I think it would be interesting just to test that theory to see if the home field advantage is actually something that would, make a difference. So, but
I know the home field advantage in the NFL goes through the playoffs, but like the Super Bowl's in Arizona this year. Yeah,
true. Very true. So,
we'll see. They just kind of lucked out on some of those having home field advantage when that team made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, very true. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, and it's something that would easily transition over to when we switch games. I mean, it's a process that can carry over. So I'm for it. I think it's a good idea.
All right, me too. I think we should give it a shot. But we'll see what the rest of our community thinks. Now we have 4th and Goal interviews coming right up. We are back with another great interview, 4th and Goal style, with a good friend of mine, Mr. Jstin Reside. He is the GM as well as free safety for the Las Vegas Fury that, stole one of my players. But, I'm not going to say too much about that one. How you doing, love?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. I know last night you were telling me that you had an event to do today. How did that go?
Yeah, it went well. We basketball. We won 25-19. We are now 3-0, like the Arizona Scorpions. And
hey, good to hear. I love that, man. I love that. So you're over here making positive strides on and off the field. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me, man, how has it been being with the Las Vegas Fury?
Yeah, it's been real fun, real good times. We had off-season meetings, and then, game day yesterday was just, when we were watching London, our game against London, it was just kind of positive vibes, and then kind of, both ways pretty much. And Chris Magg was just being funny in the locker room yesterday. Oh man, I love Chris.
And that's important though. That is very important to have that. Even despite the things that goes on, like the losses or, the good times and stuff, it's good to have people in the locker room that are positive because it helps you remain positive, And that's a really good thing. So is it hard in your opinion, Justin, is it hard being a GM?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but when you got, a whole staff of guys to help you out, it's, kind of makes it easier on you. And then it's just, it's like always when it gets hard, it's like when it gets hard when when you go into the draft and then they help you out and say, we want this guy. I mean, it's like, it gets harder as you go into the off season.
Got it. Because I was going to ask you, in your opinion, what would have been the hardest part of being a GM sometimes. I think for me, it was the hiring. Well, not necessarily the hiring, but the firing of people. Like when you have to be like, hey, we're going in a different direction, and I wish you the best of luck. Yeah. That conversation has always been difficult for me. Yeah. But
at least I don't haven't had to deal with that. Maybe, I don't know if we have to deal with it sometime soon, but I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
Well, hopefully you don't. Hopefully you have that core, that you need to stick around and things like that. And you guys are very dangerous when it comes to the passing. It is very hard to pass with you guys because you guys have magnets in your gloves for the ball. It's hard when we play to see you guys. I'm like, I definitely want to pass over here, but then this guy's gonna come straight over here and get it. So you guys are very good at that. With your passing attacks and things like that. But with how do you feel about the new additions that you guys received over the off season?
Really exciting.
Yeah.
Getting, like you said, we got Maurice for you from former free safety. We turned her into a linebacker. Right. Notice that. Yeah. And then Eric Price we got from Denver. So that probably got Jeremy Vega a little bit mad, but since he's our Vice Force rival. So, me and Jeremy have been poking each other in the off season. Understandably so, but then that is why you have 1 season contracts, and it's good for you to explore. In my opinion, you can stick with one team, for the rest of your season. Some people are like that. Some people want to explore different avenues. Maybe they weren't satisfied with what they were getting from the team that they were on, or maybe they just wanted to get a different feel. There have been some players that have been a part of 4 or 5 different teams, and I would imagine it's for different reasons, whether they were let go or whether they just decide to leave. At least you're still here. And I think that is probably my biggest thing, as long as you stay, find what makes you happy, Yeah, so exactly. So who do you guys have next? Who's your next opponent? Dave Axis and the San Diego Mavericks.
Ooh, and man, now they have been putting up about 40. I think it's 40 points every game that they played. So how do you guys gonna come back that? How do you think you guys are gonna come back that?
Yeah, probably make sure we can get Dave Axis. Make sure he doesn't get the ball. or somebody like me or Max can knock him down and get him off the field.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna have to do something because their high-powered offense is kind of scary, So the defense, just be ready for it. Be ready for it. What makes you stay here, Justin? Because you haven't been. How long have you been in the league?
4 years, 1 with Tulsa, and now 3 with. This is my 3rd year with Vegas.
Okay, so.
Or 3rd season with Vegas. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. So you're all good. You're all good. What makes you stay though? What makes you want to stay as a member of the community?
The friendships that I made and all the new people that came in, like Brad and yes. I love Alex Brad.
I do too. Okay, and that's good, and that's a good thing, And I think that's why a lot of us stay, is because of the community and the camaraderie that we have, and even the fact that you can do things that you never thought that you'd be able to do, like being a broadcaster or being doing stats. Speaking of which, I did introduce you as, number one statistician, I think. And in my book, you're always there. You're always doing stats for your team. So I don't think Vegas is ever going to suffer with any penalties because you're always there. Is it hard to do stats in your opinion?
Yeah, when somebody has to step out, because I think it was like week 2, either Zach or somebody had to step out from the one game, so I had to step in one Friday night, and then yesterday Scott Bird was working with me, and then all of a sudden I guess he had something to do, so I had to do all the sheet myself before I had Zach Horneff come in and just save the defensive side of the ball for me.
Ooh, I always wondered if that happened. Like, what was the plan for if someone just happens to, I don't know, lose power or have an emergency and they have to step out in the middle of a game? Like, I was wondering, how do you guys handle that?
Yeah, it's like, I usually handle the board myself till somebody can fly in, like Rochelle or Zach or somebody can come in right away during the game, because before the game, if it's like somebody has to pull out, I can pull, it's a simple just typing in the stat channel that, hey, Rochelle, I'm available, or Steve Hacker, I'm available, yada, yada, yada. But in the middle of the game, it's just, when somebody leaves and I'm by myself, it's like, oh, where's Rochelle, where's Steve, or somebody get me.
I did shadow a few games recently, and it has been, it has the potential to be daunting. But since you guys have added the pairings to where someone does offense, someone does defense, and just only concentrate on that, I think that works beautifully, because you can still kind of enjoy the game, but you have that backup too, to where if, let's say, you miss something, then that other person is watching it too, so that maybe they can help you in what you missed. So I thought that was a great thing that you guys are doing over there. And honestly, the broadcasters and all of us, even content creators that like to use the stats to make our points, we would be lost without you guys. And I don't think that you guys get enough credit for what you do for the league. You guys are very important. You're like the lifeline of the league. So for me, to you and everybody on that stats crew, Mark Lopez, Rochelle Colston, you, everybody, great job. We really appreciate everything that you do. And it would not be a league without you guys. So
yeah, it wouldn't be the SFL's 20th season without us. Exactly.
Y'all are a very vital piece. On to some interesting questions. So you have a steak, big juicy steak in front of you, right? What is the particular kind of steak you like? How do you like it cooked? And what kind of sides do you want with it?
Yeah, I kind of like the nice flank steak, medium, almost well done, medium rare. Nice, macaroni and cheese or broccoli with it.
Okay, so meat, the flank steak. All right, having the flank steak medium rare is actually pretty good, because it doesn't have a lot of fat content. It's a very lean cut, and especially if you cut it thin, and if you eat it, like, you can have it with tacos or stir fry, that kind of thing. Delicious, So I can get down with that. All right, I like that. One more question for you. If you could have dinner with one or two people that are alive or not with us anymore, that could be famous or not famous, who would you have dinner with and why?
Well, my two choices, number one, obviously Matt Wilson, because that guy is great in the booth and amazing. He's just, one of a kind. I'd love to, sit down with him and, maybe exchange his stories with him and Mike Dax.
Yes, definitely. And you said you had another one?
Yeah, Max Pau, the owner of the Florida Storm. I would definitely like to have dinner with him. See and understand of what the, what that culture is. It's the words of in the culture when they talk about the Florida Storm. It's like, I would love to talk to him and kind of understand what that Florida culture is, kind of a deal.
Wonderful. Justin, I think you're the only person that I've asked that question to that I think that you selected SFL players to do that. And I think that's awesome. You know, how much the community means to all of us to be able to even want to just meet each other in person, like at the conventions and come together and sit down and really get to know each other. I don't think you can get that anywhere else, or not a lot of places. So that was good, man. That was good. So before I let you go, I have to ask, do you have any questions for me?
Well, it's just, not really, because I'm trying to, it's like I'm trying to understand a lot of code of conduct stuff you've been doing. It's like, it's like I try to understand. I'm like, it's like kind of understandable, and every situation's different. And, it's just, I just kind of don't have any questions right now, unless see, code of conduct related. So
you can ask me that if you want to. If you want to ask me that now, you definitely can. Or if you want to think about your questions and maybe ask me later, I'm an open book, and I just want to let you guys know that I am not perfect, but I'm trying my best to keep the league's best interest at heart, as well as be a sounding board for the players, for the owners, for the different groups that we have in the community, the league staff members, and I think ultimately that is why Cam put me in that position, because I don't represent just the players. I don't represent just the owners. I represent everybody, and I always have. Even when I didn't have this role, I had people coming to me asking me advice on what they should do, or telling me about, I have an issue with so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm like, well, sweetheart, you can either go to the COC, or you at the time, I think it was Connor Darien, or you can just, try to work it out with them, so nothing's changed with me except my title. So I don't want people to feel like, oh my God, I can't come with her, she's going to yell at me. Or even if you don't understand something, like, we can discover the answer together. It's all good, man. It's all good. But I'm going to let you go, because I know you're probably tired from that basketball game that you had, things like that. So you need to get some rest. But I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be a song, a poem, or just a simple shout out. But right now, Justin, the floor is yours.
Well, my shout out is simple. To the boys at the Las Vegas Fury, let's get some wins. And to everybody in SFL, we're all the best. Let's make season 20 the best season it's ever been.
Awesome. It's a very competitive season. I think we can do that. And I wish you guys the best of luck, unless you're playing us. Then,
we got to play you twice. So
I know. And both times, kick rocks. All right, man. Love you, Justin. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yep, you too, Ashley.
All right. Bye. What is up, SFL Nation? And we are back with my fourth and goal interview featuring Mr. Robert Brady Jr. Now, Robert is over from the Denver Nightwings, who had just won first game over Canton, 12-3. Very defensive game, man. I mean,
yes,
y'all played them.
Yes.
So how does it feel?
Yes. So I feel great. Number one, it's a good win for the team. Really felt that after last week playing you guys, I think it kind of gave us a boost. We kind of really understood who we were as a team. The veterans kind of stepped up in the locker room and helped us to understand, hey, we are a good team. GS, he's been struggling a little bit, but he's a rookie.
Right.
And one of the things that I found out coming into the league, in the minors, it seems so easy for me to get into the backfield, to kind of disrupt things, maybe get a sack or two or things of that nature. and coming into the pros, I see it's not that simple.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, and even though as my player grows, I can see where I'm helping my team. And 99, I call him 99. That's my thing. He feeds off of it. The defensive tackles feed off of it. I'm just now getting a full sack. I had a half a sack coming into week 1, and then I got a half a sack in week 3. So just my full sack coming into this game. But I'm starting to see that it takes a little bit more than it did in the minors, to kind of be effective and things of that nature. And I really want to be. But like I said, the backing of my team, it's like the locker room in Lexington was something special. So even now, I think even though we're on individual teams in the pros, we still kind of come together. You'll see the Go Lexington theme in the chats when we're talking. Like my boy Swayze did his thing. You know what I'm saying? This week, my boy Sanders did his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So we still hang together. And to me, that's special. That even though we all have, kind of moved on from the minors and we're now in the pros and we're now all in our individual teams, we still understand what it was to be a Lexington minor.
Right.
And what it took in our locker room. And we had a very special locker room, which is something very dear to me. And I think one thing about Denver is we have that, between ownership who jumps in and talks to us about the game and how the game went, between coaches, between players. We have that, and we never get down. We lost two games. First game probably wasn't as competitive as we would like. The game against you guys, we should have had that. We really should have had that. We should have had that. I wish I could have put my hands on you, but I didn't get the chance. But we really came back from that. Like, okay, we 0-2, but that's okay. We can come from this. We can bounce from that. So I love the locker room that I'm in. And when I talk to different guys from the minors that I knew, we kind of go back and forth with the teams that we're on, and we talk about, well, you should come here or you should come there. And I'm like, man, come over to the wings, come over here. This is a good family. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying everything about it. I'm looking forward to where it's going to go.
Indeed. And it's a lot of season left, and yeah, I'm sure, you and your other friends, they got to try to tackle me. I mean, you try to get that sack, but
try to touch
I'm a very elusive individual, so you got to be.
You're elusive.
I've been in the seasons, like I've been in the league for 8 seasons, bro.
But
So I got some moves, bro. You can't just.
I'm gonna give credit to Eddie. Because I sat there and watched
my O-line too.
So one thing that I love watching with this league is I love watching the coaching and seeing how plays play out. I've been playing Madden forever. Me and my boys, we play Madden together. But seeing the fact that you guys will double team me, let you roll out to my side, double team me. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty of it all, I hate it personally, but just seeing the awareness from a coaching staff to say, okay, we recognize this is what a person can do and that. And that's the one thing that I'm really starting to get about this league. Because initially coming in, you thinking, okay, we just playing football. It's just a football game. You know, it's the basics. And you think about playing the basic player that you can play and what plays would I run on them and blah, 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 blah. No, we got coaches out here that really put time and effort and think. We got scouts that put time and effort. They know you. They know your team's tendencies. They know what you do and they game plan. And to me, that's the thing that made me so invested into this. Is like, okay, this ain't just taking Madden, picking the team, running a simulation and letting it roll. No, there's thought into this.
Exactly.
People are thinking about what can you do, what can't you do, what are you good at, what are you not good at. And so it makes it so competitive. And that's the thing, coming from a player like myself that, you know, I was going up through the ranks, I was doing my thing, you know, in high school ball, going to college ball, was doing my thing, was really looking at the pros, got hurt. And that competitive vibe is still in you. It's like you don't lose it. You know, even when you become a dad and like I said, I got boys right now that I'm going through the whole recruiting process of taking them to college and all that stuff. You don't lose it. Like they like, Dad, calm down. I'm like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You don't lose it, but this gives us an outlet to where I can have that. And this is like when I'm online and I'm talking to them and I'm talking in regards to my player, honestly, I'm a different person than who I really am. I'm the nicest, sweetest, lovingest guy in the world. But what this gives me an opportunity to do is be that competitive guy.
Yeah.
To be that dude. And that's the other thing that I found is coming from the minors to the pros and getting into chat. You know, in the minors, you know, I call myself the king. If you haven't looked at my stuff, everything is about the king. You'll see all kinds of king stuff. I felt like I'm the king, which I was. In the minors, I was the king. I was number one. And then when I got into the pros, my first real chat that I put out there, I literally put the king is a prince in regards to his team and blah, blah, blah. And I got so much fire off of that. And I'm thinking like, I came humble and I got fire from people. And I'm like, okay, this is what it's like in the pros. Okay, so I don't know what kind of language we can use, especially since you are who you are, as far as how we go. But I was like, y'all, now I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to go just 100 ham because y'all coming at me crazy. That wasn't even how I was coming. You know, I was really just coming humble. Like, I done came into the pros and I see it's a little bit different game. But at the same token, you know, that's just the energy that I bring. That's the energy that I bring to my team. You know, I want to keep my team fired up and lifted up. I want to go ahead and light a fire up in general chat. I want to light a fire in regards to my team because I believe Denver, you know what I'm saying, the Wings, you know what I'm saying, we the Wings. Go Wings. Like we gonna go. Whatever our record is, we gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who beat us, who didn't. We the Wings. You know what I'm saying? And represent. It's just like with Lexington. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care what our record was then. You know, go Lexington. I don't even know what Lexington is doing now. And I still say go Lexington because I believe in our coaches that was back there who helped me get to where I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm never going to disrespect them because they helped me become that number 3 draft pick, which I still felt I should have been number 1. I still don't understand why I wasn't the number 1 overall pick, but whatever. However they want to do it, whatever, fine. You know what I'm saying? There were, again, I'm going to say, there were certain people that felt that I was supposed to go in later rounds. We're not going to mention their names. But anyway, 3 is fine. That's cool. And out of all the teams, and I talked to a lot of, that's the other thing, that I would love to go back to guys in the minors and talk to them. Like, because I was scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared. At the end of the season, I'm like, man, am I going to get drafted? Am I going to have to come back? Am I going to do this? And even though coach had a plan for me, it was like, okay, if you come back, we're going to do this. Which looked good. And I'm like, okay, all right, thanks, coach. But I don't want to come back. Like, my whole thing is to get drafted. Like that was serious to me. It was like, even talking to my coaches, and that's one thing I tell all the dudes in the minors that I do know. Like, don't be afraid to approach your coaches, tell them what you're trying to do, tell them what you're trying to build with your player, what you want your player to be. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I got down because my player was a pass rusher and wouldn't really tackle on the run. And like I told everybody, that's not what he's built for. That's not what I built him to do. He's a pass rusher. So are you going to get a couple runs by me? Yes. That's not what he's built to do. I built him to do a certain thing. And actually, when you look at my number, it's 78. So I built my player off of Bruce Smith. Mm-hmm. And if you look at Bruce Smith with the Buffalo Bills, back in their 4 Super Bowl appearances that they lost each and every one. But if you look back, Bruce Smith was a certain type of player. Mm-hmm. That's the type of player that I built my character off of. So is he going to be the number one tackler on the team? No, he's not. But is he going to be disruptive? Yes. And that's what I want my player to be. I want him to be disruptive. I want him to be able to get into the backfield and be disruptive to kind of change the timing for the quarterback, things of that nature, and get a few sacks along the way. Mm-hmm. That's what I want him to be. I mean, he's not a run-stopping machine. So it's kind of, I think that's the other thing that people, you're paying your money, build your player, but work with your coaches to build the player that you're trying to build. And understand that when you do take it upon yourself to build your player, also understand that your player now has to fit into whatever team in the pros and what they may need. They may not need a player that's built as your player is built, mm-hmm. no matter how good he is. But still, regardless, make your player your player. You're paying your money. Make him it's just like when the coaches and stuff were calling me prior to the draft and they were asking me about my player. I said, my player is built on me. Mm-hmm. Who I was as a player. I literally made him me. I wasn't going to change him to fit. Okay, well, if you change this, I had people asking me, okay, we'll change position, go to offense, no. That player is me. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like I said, I'm so emotional about it, is because I look at my player as me. Mm-hmm. He is me. He's a virtual representation of me. So whether it be on chat, whether it be on the field, whatever, he is me. And some people say I take it too seriously. I got family that I've told about what's going on and kind of showed them. They're like, man, okay, you ain't on the field no more. And I'm like, okay, no, I ain't on the field, but it's me.
Hey, and I think that's how everybody views it, especially when you hear your name called. When you hear, the announcers, telling people, whether you made the play or whether you didn't, And it is about what you decide, because you're paying your subscription. You are paying to be here, and you want your player to be successful, and you want to try to be with individuals that is going to help make it that way. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're not being utilized properly, or it is lackluster, I mean, I would never tell anybody to just leave their team. However, if you aren't happy and you're again not feeling used properly, then you probably that's why we have 1-season contracts. You explore the league. There are 27 other teams that you can talk to try to get what you need done. Even if you wanted to explore the league in other capacities, you may not be able to be a broadcaster in your real life. You may not ever be able to coach or be an owner, or even do stats in your real life. So for you to just come in and have these moments I would say a lot of us has never seen the football field as far as actually playing on. And I know I used to be in the marching band, so that's how I knew about football. But as far as being able to say, hey, I actually played it. Hey, I actually sat in a draft and was drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. No. But when you're here, you get to live out that fantasy. You get to live out that world. And football is the reason why, and the love for football is the reason why we all here, is the reason why we all come back, besides the community. So it's good. It's good that you have that camaraderie with your fellow, well, you're not a rookie anymore, but your fellow teammates of Lexington. And I wish that I would have had that camaraderie, being able to build that over 8, 9, 10 weeks, in a locker room, being prepared, So you guys are lucky, and you'll find that friendship that you built will be a lasting one. I mean, you got people that's out here visiting, literally traveling across the states to visit to visit each other, because you mean that much to that person, Right. And so it's a beautiful thing that we have here. It's much more than football, and I like that. But is that the community? Is that the reason why you stay, or is it something else?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No. Lexington was the key for me. It was just like the minute that I signed up and didn't know what I was signing up for, and built a player. And like I said, my coaches jumped in. The other players jumped in. The community was great. And I'm like, wow, what am I in? It was like, it was like a community. And even though I didn't understand the league as it is right now, at that time, I did understand what it was to be in a community amongst a bunch of guys who felt like I felt, around coaches who wanted to see me succeed and wanted the best for me. I mean, it was just a perfect environment. And it's so much the perfect environment that I say right now, you look at the league right now and look at the rookies. You see who's shining? The Lexington rookies. The Lexington rookies are shining. And there's a reason for that. It's because we were a team.
Yeah.
And not just a team on the field, but we were a team in the locker room. We were a team amongst each other. We held each other. We comforted each other. We built each other. And that's one thing that I love about my current team with the Night Wings.
Yeah.
Same thing. You know, I had mentioned, and this is kind of off the tape, but I had mentioned that I was going through the 1-year anniversary, if you would say, of my grandmother's passing. She was 100 years old. And it was rough on me and my family. It was, you know, I've been with her for almost 50 years. And she was gone. And we had hit that 1 year mark. And that week, I was a little down. So I wasn't my typical self in the chat, chatting it up and doing everything. And I had mentioned that. And I put it in on my team chat.
Mhm.
And my brothers came to me, left and right. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Sorry about your loss, brother. Think about you, brother. Think about you. I mean, the room just filled with my brothers hitting me immediately after I put that in there. And for me, there's nothing like that. Like, where can you go into a space where you can open yourself up and put one of your biggest hurts out there amongst a group of people who honestly don't know you, but have them to have your back and be there for you? And that's what my team did for me. That's what my coaches did for me. And when I felt that, when I saw that, I said, you know what? I'm a Nightwing for life. You can't move me off this team. You can't move me away from these people, because they have shown me the same love and attention that my Lexington people did. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if they would move Lexington into the pros, I would have went to Lexington. I would have said, hey, don't even draft me. Just let me ride with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Let me ride with them. But that wasn't the case. But the Nightwings, that's an organization. That's an organization that I love. And again, I'm hoping to build my player and get up to the caliber to where I reach the goals to which they drafted me for, so that I can be effective as they hope that I would be. But you can't beat it. And that's where, and I would assume that everybody feels that same way about their organization. I would assume that everybody feels that way. And that's where you have to look at this league as a whole and say, hey, this is an environment that gives you the opportunity to be around different people from different parts of the world, where y'all can come together as one, unified, with a singular goal, and it be purposeful, and it be meaningful, and that you care. And that's what I love so much about this league. And it's like, I promote everybody that I can talk to. I tell them about this league, and they keep telling me that you just a grown man living in, in your old fantasies. And like, okay, well, that's cool. But anyway, go ahead and log on. You know what I'm saying? Call me what you want. Say what you got to say. But this is a league that I'm so thankful that it's here. Yeah. And it's like people like Cam who have sojourned through the time and put the effort in to help it build it and help it become what it is and continue to help it grow. It's just like I was looking at the new stuff, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the new stuff. I can't wait. I told my team, so one thing that I do is I do graphics. That's one thing that I do. And when Ken was sitting there talking about the stadium and talking about you can change this and you can change that, I'm thinking like, okay, that's just a couple pixels here and that's a couple pixels there. I'm like, I already got the programs to do that. And I hit Coach up like, Coach, I can already, hey, we can change all that. I can do all that right now. Coach hit me back like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And just the excitement of moving to something new, moving to something better. And I know there's a bunch of old heads that, like the game the way it is.
Yeah.
Osborne and, they know it up in front. It's just like I'm sitting there listening to the broadcast, and the broadcast, play runs. They're like, oh, yeah, XGY, blah, 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 36-2. And I'm thinking, damn. How the hell you just gonna look right there on the field another play? It's like I've been playing football all my life. I can watch the Bengals play. You know what I'm saying? I can look on the field and I can tell, okay, they in zone. Man, I can tell, you know what I'm saying? I can tell certain, but damn if I know the exact play. Y'all sitting there talking about y'all know the exact. I'm like, okay, that lets you know we've been doing this too long. The broadcasters can tell you the exact play. Like, okay, that's this and this. Yeah, we've been doing this too long.
Yeah.
And we need to add some other stuff because that don't make no damn sense. That they can sit there and call the plays and tell you what the play is. Like, well, yeah, they need to keep running. You shouldn't even know the play. You're a broadcaster. Just tell me what I did, how many yards I got, and get on to the next play. You sit there and tell me what the play is. That's crazy. No, that don't make no sense.
Well, I mean, and like you're saying, first off, my condolences, your grandma.
Thank you.
It is very tough to lose someone,
Yes.
And when I lost my dad, I came to the league and I let them know. And the amount, not just from my team either. My team was definitely there for me. But different people from all teams reached out and were just like, hey, we're here. We're here if you need us. And that it's almost overwhelming. It's almost surreal to come to the realization that all these people that really don't know you, they care about you just that much to even just say, hey, I'm here for you. Here's my phone number. Here is information if you need it, and all of that good stuff. So I totally understand where you are when it comes to that. And that is an important aspect of this league that I think keeps us here. Because whether you have your troublesome times or whether you have your good times, just celebrating good things that happen in life, you have a group of people besides your family that you can come to, and they'll be just as happy and just excited, and that is a blessing,
Yes, it is.
And it is an amazing feeling to be a part of something. And as far as the new game goes, it will help alleviate things for Cam in order to be there for. He used to do these little community meetings, right? And he would invite everybody in the whole community to voice chat. Now, it would only be about maybe 30, 40 people that would actually show up. But, it was something that he used to do. But now, by him working so hard and going even through the trials and tribulations that he had to go through, he kind of stopped. He kind of got away from it. But with this new game coming out to help free up time for him, now he can be more in the community like he wants to be, more acclimated, greeting everybody, having fun like he wants to,
promoting the game.
Exactly. And so, you do have a lot of naysayers. You do have a lot of people that have issues with it being an older game that you're going to and things of that nature. But you also, and I've said this on my show before too, that you have to think about more than just yourself in these times. Yes, everybody is entitled to their opinion and yes, things of that nature. But if it's going to benefit the greater good, then just give it a shot. You may hate it, but don't shun it. GP, I just said, hey, we're getting ready to. Oh no, we're not doing that, bro. Can I get out? Can I finish my statement? And so the people who don't mind the challenge, the coaches and the players that don't mind the challenge of starting anew, I think that they're going to be the ones that stay, and I think they're going to be the most successful at the end of the day, because they're not just relishing in the fact that, oh, we're going to a new game, I'm hating this. No, they're downloading the game, they're getting the game right now, and as this game is going on, they're practicing with the other one, so they can have that head start. Because ultimately, I mean, unless something dire happens to where he just decides to stay with All Pro 2K8, more than likely we're going to the new game. So if you love the league as much as you say you do, if you love your team as much as you say you do, why not take on these new challenges and get out of the mundane? Because after a while, it gets a little old seeing the same teams be successful.
Well, see, here's my point behind that. You go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
If your job decides we're going to try a whole different program, we're going to try a whole different approach to what we do, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because you still want that paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even though, yes, we all pay to play in this league, but the good thing about it is you ain't got to continue to pay. Mm-hmm. If you don't like it, don't come. You know what I'm saying? It's like progress is the engine of life. Everything in our world progresses. Everything in our world changes, and we go ahead and adapt with it. The only things that we have a problem with adapting to are those things that we feel like we have the ability to change. For some reason, people in this league feel like because I pay my little money, I got the ability to change the league. Okay, well, stop paying your little money. Somebody else will. Go on and go to another league. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we got to get to the point where we stop catering to the babies and go ahead on and build a league of people who are sincere, who want a league, who want to do things, who want to grow, who want to develop.
Indeed.
It's as simple as that. There are a bunch of people in here right now that just want to go with status quo because status quo is working for you.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it's like me. I want to know what my player is for real. So if we go to a new game and I find out my player ain't that player, then I got to figure out how I can make my player that player. You know, I'm not just going to sit there and be like, well, you know, my player was Hall of Famer in the old game, and then we done moved to the new game, and now he ain't on it. Okay, then he ain't on it. What you going to do? You going to cry about it? Or you going to sit there and figure out a way, get with your coaches and figure out a way, how can I build my player up to where he need to be functional so that I can get him back to the status that he was? Or you just going to cry about it because the old game, that's what your player was. And that's the thing that I can see most of the old heads crying about, because they're worried, are their player going to be the same player coming into this new game as they were in the old game? That's the only thing you can cry about. Other than that, you can make stadiums yours, you can make uniforms yours, you can make cheerleaders yours, you can make the crowd yours. There ain't nothing else to cry about other than, are you worried that your player is not going to be the player that he or she was in a prior league to the new league? And if you're scared about that, then you're scared of competition. And if you're scared of competition, you know, the way I feel about it is, then get up off the porch. Go in the yard, because the dog's on the porch. You go ahead and get in the yard. You scared of competition, go out there. Sit on the yard, sit in the grass some damn where. Because the people up here, we all about competition. And like I said, I want to compete with anybody. I don't care who you are, what team. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know, and again, I don't want to come off as arrogance or cockiness or nothing of that, because my player is just a rookie. And he ain't really got all those stats. But he'll get after you. Go ahead and not playing for him. Go ahead and not playing for him and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So all them coaches and all them teams, I guarantee you one thing you're doing, you're planning for me. You're planning for me. You're not just sitting there saying, well, he's just a number 2 DN, so we ain't got to worry. I guarantee you're planning for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't care if I don't get all the sacks. Let number 99 get it. Number 99 can have 100 sacks, and I would jump up just like I had 100 myself, because I know that I contributed to that.
Indeed. Speaking of being prepared, Queen City is your next opponent. Now, I think you guys got a bye week this week. This coming week.
That's crazy. How they got the buys there, but
well, you gonna have two.
At least I buy. Like London. That was wee. But anyway, I got nothing to do with that.
But your next opponent is Queen City, and I'm sure they're gonna be looking at everything that you guys do well and gonna try to stop that. You know, how do you think that Denver should plan for Queen City?
Okay, so first and foremost, the run game ain't happening.
Okay.
Our front line, we shutting that down.
Okay.
So what most people are doing against us right now, honestly, they're hitting us in the middle of the field. Or they hitting the little swing pass, the little out passes. I don't know what they call it.
Out routes, probably.
Yeah. They hitting them because our corners are slow to react to the outside of the field. Okay, but the problem is that coaches are picking up on that. And if you saw last week's game, we jumped a couple of those routes. So sooner or later, we're going to be picking them off. But that's the biggest thing. So if you can't hit us on that little swing pass to the right or to the left, or hit us in the middle of the field, in the middle of the field, I think is going to be our biggest problem, just because we bring so much pressure as a defense that we leave our safeties alone on the island to secure the middle of the field. One thing that we did against y'all that was so good is we wouldn't let y'all receivers alone. You know what I'm saying? But where y'all beat us was middle of the field. Your passes down the middle of the field, we couldn't stop them just because we were bringing so much pressure. And that's where, like, one thing that Lexington did with me is they moved me off of the defensive end. They put me back at linebacker and let me play linebacker. Now, my guy, he's fast. For defensive end, he's very, very fast. It's just like the second game of the season where, what's his name, quarterback broke the pocket and was running. I ran him down. You know what I'm saying? My guy's extremely fast. So what I'm hoping is that but again, this is the majors and not the minors. So it's not like I can just jump back and take a defensive back or a linebacker's position and move him. I can't necessarily do that because they're pros. But one thing that I like to see is with me is move me around because my guy is very quick. So like coming off the edge, I feel that I get enough pressure to force the pass. But my guy doesn't quite have the agility and strength yet. Okay. To get off that first block and spin out of it, because a lot of times you'll see me rush past the quarterback and the quarterback gets the pass off. That if I could just spin off of that block, I got a sack every time. So I don't know what it is in this particular game that gives you the ability to do that. That's something I got to work with my coaches about to see what will get me off of that block and let me spin back into that sack. But the biggest thing for us that we're going to need to do is offensively, we just need to be like we were this week. Effective. We don't need the big plays. We just need constant little plays down the field and let our defense be our defense. I think that's the key to our team. Let the defense be the defense and the offense just make consistent little like GS. It wasn't bombs this week. It was just constant connections down the field. Little steps, getting us first downs, things of that nature, getting the plays when we needed them. That's all we need. Right now we just need him to be a game manager and just keep the game under wraps and let the defense be the defense. I think the strength of our team is our defense.
Okay.
I'll put our defense against anybody. I'll put our front four against anybody. I really believe our front four is strong. You know what I'm saying? And our linebacker core is great. And then our corners, you know what I'm saying, and everybody else, they fill in. We just simply need to play smart football, small ball. We need to play small ball. Small ball. Just short yards and run a person up the field, contain the clock, keep the clock moving, use the clock to our advantage, and we'll win. If we would have did that against y'all, if we would have just simply, and again, I'm not a coach. I'm not judging. So before anybody jump my ass, I'm not judging. I'm just simply saying, if we would have maybe moved the ball a little bit slower and did a little bit more clock management as far as taking our time with the ball, we don't lost to y'all by 3. Just like my Bengals with Kansas City. There's only 3.
Yeah. I watched that game too, man. And that, like you said, it's the little mistakes, it's the little things that happen sometimes. And it can make all the difference in the world. But it'll be interesting to see what Denver what Denver does and how they finish out the rest of the season.
Did we play
with it? I don't think so, unless you see us in the playoffs. So
most of the games are just 1 and out.
Depends if you're in our division. Let me see. If you're in our division, then we play you twice. But if not, then typically it is like one-off games. But while I'm searching just to see if we were actually playing against each other, which I don't think we play again. We got a juicy steak here. What is your particular cut of steak? How do you like it cooked, and what are your sides?
That's a tough one. It really depends. I would say for the most part, I'm gonna go with a flat iron.
Okay.
And I like it medium.
Okay.
And sides wise, we'll say most of the time I'm gonna go with mashed potatoes and fries.
Together?
Yeah.
Okay. No judgment. Just starch and starch. Somebody else told me the same thing, but he said potato salad and French fries. And I was like,
I don't look at it as starch and all that. It's just whatever tastes good.
Hey, I feel you.
Most of the time with a flat iron, when you give it to me medium, I cut it up. I'll eat the flat iron and the potatoes, the baked potato, and fries just kind of come in. Half the time I give them to my kids. So.
I got you. One more question for you, because it's kind of late, and I definitely want us to be able to get some sleep for work tomorrow. But this is a question that I have been asking on my show for the past maybe a couple of weeks, and I'm interested to hear your answer. Sure. Name one, or you can name 2 people. Some people are naming 2 people now that you would like to have dinner with, whether they would be alive or no longer with us, whether they would be famous or not famous.
Okay.
Who would that be? Who would that be, and why?
First one will be Malcolm X.
Nice. Okay.
And then the second one I would say Martin Luther King Jr.
Really?
And both of them for two total different reasons.
Okay.
So Malcolm X, I would like to talk to him just to kind of get his idea on the change that he underwent when he went overseas and found that there were Muslims of all creeds and colors. And he was under the impression from America at that time that Black people were not accepted. And he got an opportunity to see that we were, and that we all could worship together. So just to get a feel for his mind from what went on with you as a little kid to how you feel about things as an adult. Martin Luther King, similar. Growing up in Alabama, which is where most of my family is from, in dealing with what he dealt with as far as racism at that time, and then having the mindset to not be angry, but to talk rationally. And I think that's one thing that I try to instill in my children.
Yeah.
It's not a violence thing. It's not about always being mad or being angry or throwing punches or things of that nature. It's your mind. Can you use your mind and communicate with another human being and have that other human being understand where you're coming from? You may not agree, but can you understand where I'm coming from? So, one of the things that I've always been taught is to use your mind. Use your mind, not your hands, not your fists, not any kind of weapon, because a baby can grab a gun. Any 3-year-old that can play with blocks can grab a gun. But it takes a man or a human being, a man or a woman. Let me not classify that just to men. But it takes any kind of adult to use their mind and to communicate with another adult and try to understand what the problem is and how we can solve the problem and how we can come to a mutual agreement to where you're okay and I'm okay. We may not both be completely happy, because as we understand, there is no way that you're gonna make everybody happy in this world.
Yeah.
But can we come to an agreement to where we're both okay? So that's why I choose those two people, because in my mind, they're the two most influential people as far as shaking up things and causing conversation. And that's the one thing I think that we always need. We need conversation. We need to talk and not be afraid to talk to one another, not to offend, but to understand. So when I talk to you, it's not to offend you. I'm talking to you because I want to understand you, and then I want you to understand me. And then maybe if we understand one another, I'm not saying that we're going to agree on everything.
Right.
But at least we can come to a common ground to where you can say, you know what? I may not agree with Rob, but at least I understand who Rob is. And I think right now, that's the problem. We don't understand one another. And it's because we don't talk to one another.
Right.
We just set innuendos or platforms. We just set, legislation. We just set rules or standards and say, okay, here's my wall. Don't come over my wall. Okay, well, I might agree with you on a lot of what you're thinking. But you don't know that because you never talked to me. And me growing up like I did, my parents put me into private school. So in my high school, I was one of 13 blacks in my entire high school. And honestly, it was some of the best years of my life. Some of the best years of my life. Because I was forced to understand my white brothers. I was forced to understand. And it gave me an opportunity to help them to understand me. Mm-hmm. And it was some of the best years. And those guys that I went to high school with, to this day, we talking 30, 40 years, are some of my best friends. The coaches that I played football with, most of them have passed away, unfortunately, at this point. But I went to the funerals and I was with their families, and it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Was forcing me to get outside of my communal bounds and forcing me to get out there. And like I said, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to me. And like me and those guys, we still get together, we talk, we on Facebook with one another. It's a wonderful thing because they learned about me and my culture, and I learned about them. And like I said, it was, and it don't always work out like that. I'm not foolish enough to think that it always comes to that. But
right.
For me, that was a beautiful thing. And even to this day, even with our kids, we get together and we bring our kids together, and it just continues on. The cycle continues on.
Right.
So, long story short, yes, those are the two people that I told you I talked.
Yeah.
We talked about this the first time. But I told you I can go on for forever. But yes, those are the two people that I would pick.
And like I said, I've heard different answers to this question. So it is interesting to get the insight of how people think, and even who they would have the meal with, because it kind of shows where your mind is, and it also shows maybe other people will look at this and just see like, okay, yeah, I have a better connection with him because of this, or things of that nature. And that's one of the reasons why I do this show, because you're showcasing the community, the people that's in it. And you find that no matter who your brother or your sister is, no matter what race, what color, what creed, what ethnicity, what background, any of that, you find ultimately that you have more in common with people than you do differences. But people like to often focus on the differences because that brings a divisive nature.
No, that makes you feel like you're somebody.
And the thing is, if you just take the time out to listen,
it makes
really
you feel
understand,
like somebody. You know what I'm saying? If I can find something on you, I feel like I'm somebody. And that's the thing that people do. People sit there and look, say, okay, if I can find something on you, then okay, here's how I'm better.
Right. But it's not even about that. It's not. It shouldn't be about that, but it is, unfortunately, with some certain individuals. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be us learning about each other. And if children can do it, why can't adults? What is the difference? You were just there. So
You go to a kindergarten or Luke or anything like that, and you see kids of different races, colors, and things, and they just play
that's it.
together and enjoy one another. And it's like, at what point does it change? At what point does that go away and it becomes something different? And then what causes that? What puts that into you? So that's where we have to look at ourselves as adults and as parents. You know what I'm saying? And me, I was a hellion as a kid. But I take my job as a parent very seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously. That I've been blessed with the opportunity to make a difference in a life that I've been blessed with. So I have to make a difference. So I take it very seriously. The thing that I don't get is, at what point do we change our children from just being human beings to being black, white, brown, male, female? At what point do we change them? Because that's not how they come out. And again, like I said, you can go to any little playground and you can see that's not how they come out. So at some point, we, as adults, we change them. So again, I ain't gonna get preachy on this. Because again, like I said, I can go for forever. But yes, one thing that I have found in this league is that more often than not, you're going to be accepted, you're going to be loved, people are going to respond to you, people are going to wrap their arms around you, they're going to be there to help you and lift you up. So that's what I found. So we'll leave it at that.
Sounds good, brother. Before I let you go, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. When you gonna leave the Scorpions?
Never.
You can't be that loyal. I mean, you ain't getting no pay. I mean, my banner coming and my jersey coming. I was trying to delay on, you know what I'm saying? I interviewed till I got my jersey, so I could wear my jersey and go ahead and throw it up, put the wings up. But they told me it's gonna take a minute. But,
no, bro. No, not unless Eddie decides he want to just kick me. If Eddie decides tomorrow that, Ashley, I don't want you on the team no more. I don't want you to be my co-owner anymore. This just ain't working out. Okay, then I guess I won't have no choice. But I plan on being a Scorpion until I retire.
Okay.
Period.
Well, that's cool.
Just like you said, you gonna be in Denver.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna say this right now. We're gonna put it in the air for everybody to know. I'm going to try to recruit you till I leave the league. So every year, I'm gonna come at you. So I'm just letting you know now. But okay.
Fair warning. All right, you gonna start getting DMs for Eddie. Like, listen.
Hey, all I can do is try. Oh yeah. Now that's gonna be interesting.
He gonna be like, no,
Eddie. Yeah. And it's not personal, Eddie. It's just business.
Nuts, bro. I think you're the only person that's ever asked me that. Well, at least on camera, anyway. So, that was very brave of you.
I mean, it ain't nothing against my boy GS. Ain't against him. You know what I'm saying? I love my boy GS, but I'm gonna try to recruit everybody. Everybody. which I have done. If you go back and look, if you follow me, you will see. I'll talk to everybody. Like, hey, y'all come on over to Denver.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which I think everybody should. Honestly, all y'all out there listening to me, y'all listening to this video with me, all y'all should come over to the wings. All y'all. What y'all should do. And what y'all don't do, y'all do.
And with that, I'm going to give you the last word, brother. So that could be a shout out, a poem, or you can actually sing a song if you like. So,
well,
right
since
now,
I can't sing, I wish I could though. But so since I can, shout out. Go Wings. Go Wings. We getting this chip. This year, we getting this chip. Go Wings.
Okay. Okay. We're going to see. Now, you do understand that, much like T-South, how he said that Charleston was going to go 12-0. And I told him that if that didn't happen, I was going to be in his DM. You do understand that if you guys don't make it to the play, if you don't make it,
that's cool.
I'll be right there. Bro, what?
You know where my DM is?
Okay.
But here's the kicker. Here's the reverse. If we do,
I'll be the first one to graduate.
Up in your DM.
I told you, see? I told you.
So you know. So when we get this chip, and I sit there and have my ring on, it's gonna be on. Yeah, that's gonna be right there, and I put it in your face like that. Then I'm gonna light your DM.
Okay. Well, buy two. That way I can put it with Baltimore's ring, because they gave me one too, and I had to put up with your mess. So I need a ring
for Baltimore.
Because
what?
Because I'm Ashley Jackson. That's why. No.
No.
I got a ball. No, but I often celebrated. I've celebrated with them guys 4 times. They've been on my show,
so
and I told them
have a couple drinks with them, and I'm gonna get a ring.
No, absolutely not. I just simply said that I feel like I need a ring because I am the one that's giving you guys this platform to use to celebrate, and I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I mean, I'm mad it ain't me, but at the same time. And they was like, you know what, Ashley? T-Roy was like, Ashley, and I was just going on a rant too. T-Roy was like, Ashley, all right, we're gonna sing you one. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Be for real. And I kid you not. 2 days later, I had that ring in my mailbox.
I mean, I believe you that you got a ring. Babe, did I say that?
You before.
Oh.
It ain't nothing wrong with giving people a gift, especially if you have been
You're not on the team.
I don't care.
Then if that's the case,
I got a flag. I got
to come to Denver.
No.
So you do care.
I don't care enough to leave. Do you think Baltimore said,
enough to take your ring?
I'm gonna get rid of Jack Wigmore and bring you on? Do you think they said that? Absolutely not. But what they did was they showed some decency and respect and was like, you know what? You are the 6-time community ambassador. You have been in this league showcasing everybody. Didn't matter who it was, what team they on. You gave these people a voice. You gave these people time. So why not? So don't hate, bro. Don't hate. And don't be calling them out their names either. Don't be calling them out their ring.
Then I can offer you a ring because we getting a ring this year.
Okay.
So then after we get this ring this year, we'll give you a ring and then you come over.
Okay. All right. Bye, Robert.
All right.
I'll see you soon, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, love. Bye. Welcome back to my 4th and Goal interview. I have here with me a very good friend of mine, Mr. James Cline. James
Yeah.
Cline. Every time I just have to say that in my mind. But he is the wide receiver and co-owner for the Queen City Corsairs.
Yeah, I do the same to my students in my classroom.
Perfect. All you need is your martini glass and just sitting there shaking, not stirred. But man, it's been a while since I've seen you. Thank you for being on the show. How you been?
I've been doing good. I started a new job, and life's a lot of changes since I was with Carolina. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I noticed, and we're actually going to talk about that
Okay.
in a minute. But before we get started, since it has been a minute, we would like for you to reintroduce yourself. So, if you give us your hometown, an interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Well, my name's James Cline. I live in West Jefferson, North Carolina, which is about 20 minutes from Boone, North Carolina, Appalachian State University.
Okay.
Used to be a police officer, coached high school football, head coach soccer for 4 years at the previous high school I was at. And I'm 53 years old and got 3 boys and a little girl.
Beautiful. Busy, huh?
Yeah, and I'm a Cowboys fan.
Really?
I should live in Texas because I'm a Cowboys fan and an
Okay, first of all, why don't you? Secondly, how you're in South Carolina? How did you get down here to Cowboys?
Well, growing up, my brother was a Washington Redskins fan.
Okay.
And of course, I'm going to be different than him, and I went with the America's team back in mid '70s. So I can remember my first Super Bowl. I remember is in 1977, whenever the Cowboys beat the Broncos. So
Okay.
been a fan ever since. The Houston Astros, been pulling for them since the early '80s because I was a big Nolan Ryan fan. So I've stuck with them through thick and thin as well.
Okay. I get it. I get it. That was just very interesting. And I was wondering how you were gonna correlate the two. But one question, and then we're gonna move on. So, Cowboys fans, why is it that when you guys are on a roll and you start winning a lot of games, why do you have to talk so much trash? Like, I have friends that are Cowboys fans, and as soon as they get on a roll, winning 2, 3, 4 games, oh, we the best. We will do this. Like, bro, calm down.
Well, here lately, myself, I don't say nothing, to be honest. I get the age where, well, we're going to either win or lose. Now, back in the 90s, I was one of those people. But, a lot of failure since, so I keep my mouth shut. Unless it's Harish and Tristan, I might say something to them, but that's about it.
Gotcha. So, James, how long have you been a member of the Simulation Football League?
I began in, I think it was 2014 or 15, season 6. And little interesting fact, this is before we had really a lot of players in the league. There's probably maybe 20 or 30 of us. Cameron had some transition happening, and I got lucky, actually. I got off from football practice and come home. We had a summer practice in. So I like to take baths.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got in the bath. I was typing in simulation football because I was wanting to play a football game and ran across Cameron on the call, and I was hooked automatically, and I sent him a message, and I mean, it was like 24 hours later, he's like, I've got an opening. Would you like to have a team? And I was like, sweet, I'm there.
I love it. So that team was Carolina, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they Honolulu Wyverns or whatever.
Waverlands, yeah.
Yes, and that was the team that had folded, and he needed somebody to run the team. So I asked him if I could move it to Carolina, and he said, "Yeah, that's good."
Wow. So how was that transition from Carolina to Queen City? Because honestly, James, I didn't think you'd ever leave, you know.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was hard for me. It'd been a process for a while. A lot of people didn't know, because me and Harish had been talking about him buying me out, and I always told him, you know, I told him, I said, "You ought to get your brother to help you run the team." I said, you know, pretty much this is really your team. For a few years, he had brought people in, and his personality clicks with the younger people that's on the team. I'm an older guy. Of course, I can fit in, but the team sort of looked at him more as the leader, and me as more of I would say the Jerry Jones type guy.
Oh, no, not Jerry.
But when I sold, it is, I don't know, it's like a breakup, but you know, it's hard to say, because I really care about Harish.
Yeah.
And I knew that he would be better off with me not in there. I mean, we didn't conflict or anything. We did have different ideas on certain things, but it was just a good move for me, because at the time I couldn't spend a lot of time managing the team. I had a lot going on. And this past summer, I actually was talking to Cameron, and he mentioned something about Queen City to me. He said, you know, my dad, he's looking to get back in ownership, and I think you guys would be a great addition with Eric. And Eric's probably about 10 years younger than me. Cameron's dad's a little older than I am. And so I started talking to Michael, and our personalities really clicked together. And finally, after a couple phone tags and messages, we finally got a meeting with Eric. And then he brought Tom in, and come to find out, we all get along really good. And we have the same philosophies as how we treat personnel, how we treat people. And I think it's because of our age. You know, we're a pretty mature group. I'm probably the least mature out of all of them, but you know, it was just a good fit for me. I miss Carolina, don't get me wrong. Me and Harish talk on a weekly basis, and you know, I love Harish, and I love Tristan and the whole crew. I mean, they're just good guys. And but it was just time. This is Harish's team. It was time for me to do something else. And I had other teams reaching out to me, not as an owner, but as a player. I had 2 or 3 other teams reaching out as well to come in there. So, but I chose Queen City. I want to help rebuild that team.
To your point, Queen City is right now is 1-2.
No, 3.
Oh, 1-3. Ooh, sorry.
0-3.
0-3.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you won one.
No, we've been in a situation where we should have won. Las Vegas, we was up. I can't remember how many points, but with about 7 seconds left, we should have downed the ball. Quarterback goes back, throws a pick 6, and we lose with I don't know, about 7 seconds left or something. It was just I guess an AI glitch in the game on the play calling, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I totally misread that. I actually thought you guys won against Las Vegas.
We had it won.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I've been here so long. Like, some people would get really upset over it. I didn't get upset over it, because I've seen odd things happen in the game, and you know, it's just part of life, and it's a video game. So, you know, you just move on to the next one.
Indeed. Now you mentioned the young core that you have, the rookies that you have. Tell us a little bit about your selections and why you chose those particular rookies to join your team and help to make that better. Like John Lakeman, quarterback.
Yeah, that was basically a Michael and Tom selection. I haven't talked to Jake much, but Michael and Tom had been talking to him for a while. They loved his personality, and that's the thing. What we was trying to build is a family team atmosphere, and they just loved when they talked to him. Whenever I talked to Michael about it and Tom, I was like, if you guys feel good with that, I'm good with that. I think my end in the draft was looking at builds and needs. And, we had different philosophies. For example, when we got in the second round, we come down to a couple guys that we wanted. And I pitched an idea of maybe getting a backup running back. And at first, we was all, that's a good idea in case we have any injury. And I feel that the SFL is going to expand their rosters eventually, especially if we go to the new game. And a backup would have been a good addition. However, we have so many needs on defense. We all as a group ended up making a decision to try to build the defense even further, because we are very weak right now defensively, but everybody's been progressing, so we're going to build up pretty quick.
Indeed. And I think that's the key, and especially if you have that group that understands, like, hey, we are in a rebuilding phase, and the more of you guys that stay, the better we'll be in the long run. Just like with DC, they started off with a bunch of rookies, and now they're one of the more formidable teams. So,
and you can talk to Destro. I told Destro last summer. This is before the fall season. I said, I'm looking at your roster and what you've done and what you've built. I said, you're going to be one of the top 4 teams, or you'll be a contender next year. And he's like, I hope so. And I said, I just feel that, because I knew that him and Steve are very good with strategy in the games. 2 previous owners, Stephen Molinax, he's a really good offensive guy. And I was, for the regular season, I was right. I was just looking at it building. I told Destro, I said, y'all guys are going to be good. And they're going to be good this year as well.
Indeed. But yeah, I think that's going to be the key to your success, and to adding more wins to the win column, even maybe more championships, because for a while you guys were the only team that had won 4 championships, and I would like to see that, I would like to see you guys get back to the days of old, but yeah, it will take some time. So tell me, it is 4 owners. So how is it easier to make decisions, or is it more difficult because it's 4 of you? Is 4 too much, or is it just right?
Not for us. I think our age and a lot of us have experience either in coaching or managing. And I've had both. I've owned a business and I've been a coach. And I feel that if you're a good head coach, you're going to listen to people around you and then make a decision. Just like, a president of the United States, he's got a staff, and he's going to listen to a staff and then make a decision. And I feel that's the same in management or in coaching. And Eric's been great. Eric's the main guy. He's the one that really owns the team. And excuse me, he's sort of stepped back and let us do our thing, but we don't leave him out of the picture. So he'll jump in and he'll give his advice on stuff, and we listen. But ultimately, when it comes to game strategy, Tom's been the guy that's controlling the playbook, and Michael is huge on his knowledge. So it just works out. And for example, the other night, whenever we was playing you guys, I mentioned something after the game what we might need to do. So And Tom's like, yeah, you're right. So, you know, it's a great fit. It's a really great fit for me personally.
Good. I'm glad because I've heard the stories where sometimes, you know, people say that, you know, having more than maybe one or two owners is too much because it's too many different mindsets. But if you all are all on one accord and you get along, you know, more so than not, then yeah, of course it could work out. Because if somehow one of you have to step away, real life issues, you still have three other people, you know, or two other people to kind of help out with that responsibility. So I like that.
Yeah.
So ultimately, in your opinion, what do you guys think that you have to do offensively and defensively to kind of counteract the fact that you have so many rookies? Because I know you coach too, so.
Yeah, the main thing, and this is talked about Friday night after our ball game. The main thing is keeping the team together and building trust and building relationships. And for me, like and Harish can tell you, I'm a big keep it positive. Move on. If we lose, so what? That's over with. We can't change that. But we can all build off of something and unite. One thing about like in Carolina, when we had some down years, our locker room always stayed together. And that's what I want with Queen City is these rookies, they've got to realize that they're going to play an important role. If it's not right now, it's going to be later. And that could be beyond on the field. You know, you got some guys, if they want to step up and be on the stats team or get involved with scouting, that's the two first steps I would recommend, and just build up on it. And eventually one of them may own a team. Mm-hmm. But AJ, look at yourself when you started. Look where you're at. So you play a huge role in the league. So I mean, you could give more advice than I can on that end, but just be positive. You know, remember, this is a game. This is a family atmosphere. Have fun with it. If you're getting upset over losing a ball game, you know, maybe you need to do something else. Just enjoy it, win or lose.
Right. It is one thing to get, you know, to be emotional about it because we're so invested in there, but for you to go over the deep end, yeah, that's just like we're not out here playing for real, guys.
Yeah, we both have seen that, right?
Yes.
So it's
indeed. So I got 3 more questions for you.
Okay.
So what do you think about the league going over to the new game? I mean, you've been here since season 6. So you've seen the ups and downs, you've seen the questionable AI calls and things of that nature. So what are your ultimate thoughts on that?
I like the idea. It's something new. I think everybody will have to try new strategies. I know TJ said it's basically the same playbooks and stuff, but there's going to be AI issues. I don't care which game you get. I mean, we can go 100 years in the future. It's not going to be perfect. But the thing that I like, it's going to make life easier for Cameron.
Yeah.
Because he has to do so much. People don't realize all the stuff he does. And the other staff members, you know, to me, that's the biggest part. If it can make it easier on the league to put out a good product. And I've been watching Cameron's streams, and I'm very intrigued with everything that you can do with it, because you can about edit everything. And you know, if it gets to the point where we can, you know, get more people watching and sponsors get involved, that's going to be huge, putting those sponsors on the field and in the stadium. So I really like the idea. I know there's some owners that's not in favor of it, but for me personally, I like the idea. I know Harish likes it as well. Me and him's talked about it. So we both support it.
Yeah. You know, and like you said, I think the most important part is that it will give Cam a little bit more breathing room,
Yes, it would.
And if we want the lead to continue, he may 10 years is a long time to be doing anything.
Well, I tell you, actually, he puts his whole life into this. And one thing, when I stepped away from ownership and looked at the league out of away from, me being involved, it just made me realize that, Cameron's the one that makes this thing roll. And, sometimes we all don't agree with his decisions, but I messaged Cameron, and when I got back in ownership, I was like, you're going to see a different person because I've been away. And I realized, you need more support, and I'm going to support him on, if he wants to do this, I feel that it's something that he needs support with, and not a bunch of people getting on to him about it.
Indeed. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of fun questions for you.
Okay.
You have a nice steak, juicy steak.
That's my favorite.
What temperature is it cooked to, and what are your sides?
Okay. I'm going to start with the sides first. I liked green beans, not out of the can, the ones just steamables.
Okay.
I like that. And then I like a sweet potato with butter and sour cream. So that's the two things I have. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm diabetic, so I try to minimize my potatoes. But my favorites are ribeye, and I know that's fatty, but that's the taste of that. And medium well.
Okay.
So it has to have some pink in it. No blood, but pink.
Okay. I like that. Because, there's that little strip of pink there. And with fattier cuts like ribeye, you kind of want to crisp up that fat on the outside and then on the throughout, And if you eat it rare or like mid-rare, you don't really get that same crispy, oily, beefy flavor that you would get. So I like that. All right. I can come to your house and eat for dinner then. Another question is, last one. If you could have dinner with anyone, whether they are alive or whether they're no longer with us, whether they're famous or not, who would you like to have dinner with and why?
Okay, two people.
Okay.
Is it okay? Two?
That's fine. Mm-hmm.
The first one's JFK.
Okay.
I think he potentially could have done a lot for the country. He's about peace, didn't want war. And I just feel that, to me, the stuff I've read about him, I really like. Now, he wasn't perfect, but that would be one. The second one would be my grandfather on my mother's side. And believe it or not, his name was Austin Powers.
Really?
So he died. He died of cancer. My mother was 16. I was born when she was 18.
Okay.
And stories that my mother told me of him, I would love to have met him, which one day I will.
Well, yeah. Hopefully not too soon, because we love you.
No,
but
the good take me when he wants to, and hey, I'm saved and ready.
Indeed. Yeah. Would you mind sharing one of those stories that she told you about your grandfather?
Yeah. Back, I think it was 63 or 61, they had a big snow, and the snow was so deep they had to tunnel to, like, I live in a mountain, so back then there was no really factories. Most people's farmers. So she would told me about the time that it had snowed, and him and her had tunneled to the barn where the cattle were to feed the cattle, and she was just telling me how rough it was. But he would be out there every day, taking care of the farm animals, and just how much he put his heart and soul to support her family. She had a family of 11 siblings, so there's a big family.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ooh, a little bit more water in the pot to stretch that soup, I'll tell you that.
You don't see that except for Phillip Rivers. So he's got
He has what?
He has a huge family.
Philip Rivers?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. How many kids? But just look him up. His family. I bet he's got 10 kids.
Yeah. You know, I've heard stories where people had 12, 15 children. I'm like, that's a football team. That's, you know?
You know why they had big families back in, right?
Well, because the economy was different too.
Yes, they had farms, and they would have big families to support the farm. So that's why they did.
Well, good stuff. Good stuff, man. James, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out. Now, before I let you go, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm very proud of everything you've done for the league, and especially in recent events of being the director of the director of
compliance.
And the role that you've took on. That's a you're putting yourself out there type role, and people are going to make mistakes, but you've done really good. You've stood your ground, and I like seeing that somebody's going to listen to everybody else, but they're still going to make the right decision. And I feel that you're doing a good job. Eddie's blessed to have you. I love Eddie to death. He's one of my favorite ones in the league. And if I wasn't with Queen City, I'd be knocking on y'all's door.
I tell you what, we would love to have you. But yeah. Queen City's lucky. Queen City's lucky to have you too. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But thank you, James. Sometimes you wonder about the job that you're doing, especially when you have such feedback as you get. But I will say out of all of the decisions that I've had to make, I have had a lot of people come to me and just like you, DMs and just saying, hey, I wouldn't want this job, so kudos to you for doing it, and I believe in you and all of that good stuff. So that kind of helps alleviate the other feelings that sometimes you get in doing a role like this. So, but I appreciate it.
I've been watching stuff, and you've handled this really well, especially recently. You've done a good job keeping your composure and making the right decision. So that says a lot about your character and your leadership.
Appreciate it, James. I love everybody. I'm a member of pretty much every group that is here. I'm a player. I'm an owner. I'm a content creator. So it's like, I understand all sides of it, guys, So
hey, put your soul into it, just like Cameron.
Exactly.
And I'm one that can't say that, I don't see how you all do it so much, but you're one of the figureheads.
You know what? You know why? Because it's just people like you that's been around here for the same reason why you've been around here since season 6, and you still continue to do what you do and make the impact that you make. So that's why.
Yeah, I make the impact you do, but I do what I do, and I just want to help turn a team around.
And y'all will. I wish y'all the best of luck. And you have any shout outs that you want to give, James? The floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to the Queen City rookies especially. Thank you for being supportive to your team, getting that progression in, which is huge. Constantly asking questions and learning and staying together. I know we're 0-3, but I promise you, stay with us. This will get turned around. There's no doubt in my mind. Thank you, Eric, Michael, and Tom for being really good people. Carolina, still love you guys. You're like a son to me, and to the rest of the league, stay positive. This is supposed to be fun. Let's do that.
Appreciate you, James. You have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Don't take your trust. I keep my mouth shut, baby. I open up. Hey. I see you shining, baby. Golden aura. I keep my mouth shut, baby, I'll open up.
What is up, SFL Nation? We're back with another 4th and Goal interview featuring a newfound friend of mine, Mr. Keenan Samuels. He is the linebacker for the Baltimore Vultures. The Baltimore Vultures.
There we go.
Hey, man. Keen the Dream. How you been doing, bro?
I've been doing good. Ashley, how you been doing?
I've been doing good, man. You know, just taking days one at a time and trying to do the best that I can with the time I have. That's all.
There we go, right? There we go.
Indeed. Well, brother, welcome to the show. This is your first time ever on here, so I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know why.
You know what? I'm gonna take some of the blame. You know, you had asked me when I had first joined into the league, when I was a rookie, actually, you asked me to get on the show, and it was just kind of like a timing thing. I was kind of unable to link up with you there, but, you know, we finally getting it done, so it's good to go. We finally getting it done.
That's right. You're absolutely right, brother. So let's go ahead and get to know you. So, what is your age, if you don't mind me asking? Your age, your hometown, one interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
Okay, so I'm 28, about to be 29 this year. Years old. From San Diego area. People not really too familiar with the area, but if you want to get real specific, the Temecula area, towards the 951 area out there. My favorite NFL team, Minnesota Vikings. Man, they hurt my soul this year. Now, you know, I'm from California. Everybody asks me why I like the Vikings. So it was the first Pop Warner football team I played on, right? And whatever, I didn't really like them that much. And I actually ended up going to the Holiday Bowl. And I remember watching Adrian Peterson. It was Oklahoma against Oregon Ducks. And I remember watching Adrian Peterson. And all I could think was, man, it'd be cool if the Vikings could draft that dude. Next year, what happens? We draft the Vikings, and then we drafted Adrian Peterson, and then it was a wrap after that. Like, let's go Vikings. So, and fun fact. Okay, so my name is actually Quentin. Keenan comes from my son, my 4-year-old son. So, when I found out about the league, I was with my little buddy at the time. So he wanted to be a player. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's where Keenan's from. So Keenan the Dream, that's my little boy right there.
Oh, Keenan. Hey, sweetheart. Just in case he watched this, you know.
Right.
Good deal. You know, and that's another thing. That's another reason why I like doing these shows, because you do find out little tidbits of information like that, like why you chose a number that you chose, because sometimes that means something to someone, or the name itself. You know, we do have a lot of people here that use their children's name, you know, if they have multiple, you know, hence Nathaniel Diggs, you know, that I think Nathaniel is his son's name, but his real name is Eddie. So it's crazy, but good stuff, man. Good stuff. So you mentioned that you found the league, you know, you and your little buddy found the league. So how did that actually occur? Were you watching TV? Did you hear it from a friend? Like, how did that happen?
So fun thing. So I've always kind of been into the whole like simulation, like football thing. I watched a lot of YouTubers that actually like do that. So the crazy thing is one day I was bored and I Googled simulation football league. Like, I'm just looking for a football league that does the simulation, and lo and behold, there's a league actually called Simulation Football League. So, you know, I watched a couple of games, and I'm like, man, they got broadcasters and all this stuff. Like, what? I gotta check it out. So, made a player, and then got into the minor leagues, and I thought that was the coolest thing, that they had a minor leagues. And you know, little did I know, I was one of the first, like, I'm thinking like first 3 seasons of the minor league. So it was kind of a brand new thing when I had first joined. So I kind of got lucky because I heard they just did like a rookie showcase before they had the minor league. So yeah, it was really cool actually getting into the league and everything like that.
Yeah, you know, you guys are fortunate enough to be a part of the SFLm. You guys have it really good, you know.
Right.
It was just one game for the rookie showcase. And if you didn't do nothing, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you didn't showcase anything.
Exactly. But I had no idea, Keenan, that you were a member of so many squads at one point. I mean, you first started
Right.
off with the Tacoma Grizzlies, then you were with St. Louis Gladiators and Jacksonville Kings and Houston Headhunters, and now you're with Baltimore. So, can you take me on that journey from being a rookie with the Tacoma Grizzlies and then eventually winding up in Baltimore?
Right. So I had joined Tacoma, I'm gonna say like around like week 2 or 3 into the minor league season. And like instantly, like I linked up with some of those guys, and it was real fun being out there on the defense and contributing with the team and everything. And it was funny. A lot of people might know me as an outspoken guy, so I remember going into that draft. Man, none of the mock drafts had me on any of the mock drafts. And I was like, I remember being so upset about it. Like, man, I was balling out there and this, that, and the third. And, I didn't get a chance to get out there and get on a mock draft. So, like, I was upset. But I had talked to Frank and Mike prior to the draft. We actually had a couple good conversations. And right before the draft started, they hit me up and they're like, hey, we're going to draft you today. And I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't thinking I was going to be a first round, but, lo and behold, that Jacksonville pick came up and they're like, Keenan Samuels. I was like, oh my God. So, that was a real cool moment. And what I want to tell all the rookies out there is don't pay attention to none of the mock drafts. A lot of these guys aren't talking to the owners. They don't know exactly what the owners want. So, just make sure you go out there, you holler at the owner yourself, and you get a little, communication going with them. And then that'll better your chances than, just hoping that they notice you out there. Because there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players. So it's kind of hard to just, find that one guy if you're not standing out in, the general chat or other ways. So, I was upset about that. But, we got drafted to Jacksonville. And, that was a really fun season. Like I said, I met Jack, Mike, and Norwood and the guys, and Mike St. Green. It was real fun. Had a good time. Jacksonville, I kind of was going through like a rebuilding stage at the time, so they were trying to figure out an image for their team. So, after that season ended, they kind of wanted to go their separate ways. So, hey, we went our separate ways, and Mike was really, he was really helping me out with trying to find a new team that next season. Cool guy, man. He was really like, oh, try this. Like, he had hit up a couple owners for me and got me some looks. And I'll never forget, T-Roy Games hit me up, coming to Baltimore. And man, like, I had a couple, I had like maybe like 6 or 7 offers at the time. Mm-hmm. And once that Baltimore offer came in, and like, they just do things so differently with how they operate. And, it makes you feel like you're really part of like, or like a football, like an organization. It's really cool, like how TJ and Paternity and T-Roy, how they all hold themselves and how they come at you about joining the team. And I was just like, hell yeah, I'm going to Baltimore. So went to Baltimore, and we balled out that season and got that first ring. And I was like, man, be more to the end. I'm sticking with be more. And I had went through some things in real life at the time during re-signing phase, and when I finally got back and able to like really be like involved for a little bit, Baltimore had moved on. So then the Gladiators hit me up, and I was stuck on that 1-bar face mask that they do. Like, I thought that was cool as hell, like, to represent the arch and everything out there in St. Louis. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down to be a Gladiator. Let's do it. So got into the Gladiators, and once again, like, I went through a little term in real life. So I wasn't as active. So for all my Gladiators out there, I want to say I'm sorry to you guys. Because, I'm a big mouth guy. I like to talk trash. I like to boost the team up. I'm a team player, So I know they could use that out there. And, me not being involved was kind of, crappy on my end. So I just want to say my bad to St. Louis and the guys out there. But after that season, Houston hit me up, and with Damon and Mike St. Green. So, I had a chance to, run back into Mike St. Green again. And honestly, Houston, I was 100% down with Houston. I was ready to continue on with them. We had a cool little season, a cool little run, and we were it was the first year with the rebrand, so I kind of wanted to stay there and build with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 100% down to do that until T-Roy hit me up again. And what's crazy is during that, after my first season with Baltimore and I had went to St. Louis, I had hit him up before I went there, and I was like, hey, if you guys ever need an outside linebacker again, let me know. And I was just throwing that out there, like thinking like, hey, maybe he might hit me up. And he did. He hit me back up, and I was like, wow. I was committed to Houston, and those guys hit me back up, and it was like I couldn't just turn down that offer again. Baltimore, I felt like was my original home in the first place. So, I moved back to Baltimore, and here we are. Season 20, 3-0 right now. So it's looking good so far for us over there in Baltimore.
I get that. It home is where the heart is. And
home is where the heart is.
If you feel that you are better suited for a specific team, not a knock against anybody else by any means, but
right.
That's where you kind of started your career. Like those were the early years, and that brotherhood,
exactly,
that kinship that you made with them was something that you held on to for a long time. And so I'm sure, the other teams, they were probably mad at first, but...
Right. And I apologize to him, man, especially to Houston, because I mean, Damon and Mike St. Green, those are really they're really stand-up guys. If anybody ever gets a chance to go play with Houston, if they hit you up, man, I recommend going down there because it's fun. It was fun. It was cool. I had a great time. And like I said, if it wasn't for T-Roy, so they could be mad at T-Roy. If it was for him hitting me up, man, I'm telling you, I would be sticking with Houston.
T-Roy always be still.
I would try to be there. Right.
But no, that's that. They're a really good ball club. I mean, from what they do on the field to off the field, things of that nature. I got love for Baltimore, and I always will.
Right.
But this 3-0 start that you guys are on, y'all look like y'all heading down that path.
Man, it's there. The defense is looking major this year. I'm not even gonna lie. I would gas up the offense, but they do what they do, man. I mean, those boys they're on a totally different level. You know what I'm saying? Like they got to put up 60 points, then we start pat their back. But the defense, man, they've been lights out. They've been shutting stuff down. So I'm really been rocking with the defense, especially Teflon Ron, man. That guy, he's all over the place. They can't block him out there, man. They can't block him. I've been telling everybody this is defensive MVP year, so we're gonna see, man.
The chef is always working,
Hey, he's always out there cooking.
Definitely. Yeah, y'all almost didn't have a ring last year, but you know what I'm saying. It was some unfortunate.
Right. You know what? Hey, Ashley, I wasn't on that team. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true. That's
you
true.
Can talk your trash. You can talk your trash.
I'm gonna have T-Roy back on to let him know a few things, but but yeah, like I said, it's a good ball club. But you did get a little heat, man.
Right.
From I guess the joking and the ribbing kind of took rubs people the wrong way, bro. And
right.
how like what happened? And if you don't have to name names if you don't want to, but like what happened? Did that situation ever get resolved or like?
So pretty pretty much what had happened was we had played Alamo City and we got to chirping back and forth. But really, I'll say I was the one really talking trash. And I had ended up calling them bums, and some people got rubbed the wrong way about it. And like I just want to say, like, Alamo City, Artillery, you guys aren't bums. Y'all are a good football team. It just came out because, as I was talking trash, people tried to say, I don't contribute to the Baltimore Vultures defense, and Keenan was all over the field. And then, you see week 2, he was all over the field again. And same with week 3. So, Keenan's out there balling. And, when I'm the type of guy, when you talk to me, I'm definitely going to talk back. And I'm already talking as it is. So, it is what it is. But like I said, the real chirping started just because they had made they had said a couple things before the game that their DBs were going to be full, that they were, pretty much going to shut down, Ivory and Micah and all that. Like, come on, guys. Those guys they're dogs. That's a lot to handle out there, man. But I will give the defense credit. Pretty sure they came out with 2 picks that game, so their DBs ate a little bit, but I think we left a little food on the plate for them at the end of the day. So it was a good game.
It was. And the thing about it is, and I had actually asked this in another server, when does the joking and the ribbon and all that kind of stuff turn into something that's disrespectful, then that turns into something else, And I got various answers. At the time I didn't know about what you guys had went through. And, right. And my thing is, like, I think you were saying prior that you were a football player, and football, when you play in real life, any sport you play in real life, y'all gonna have your trash talk. I mean,
right?
I was in the marching band. That was the closest to football I actually got. Real football was being in the marching band and standing there on the sidelines when the guys are, doing their thing, and you can even hear them back then in high school talking trash, But
right.
It is about, doing that and, just being respectful to it. But I like what you just did.
I at least try to keep my trash talk, family friendly words. I'm not out here cussing nobody out, calling anybody out of their name or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now the bums part, that might have been a little heated, but hey, like I said, I got respect for Alamo City, good football team, and let's go out there, just win some more games, man. Just win. That's all you got to do, And then you don't got to worry about me talking about you. Don't got to worry about what I said.
I got you, man. Look, so you said you played football. What position did you play?
I played corner, so I was definitely running my mouth the whole game when I was playing back in the day too. So it's just like I said, it's just part of how I operate, how I get down.
Do you get those sentimental vibes playing, watching yourself play on the field now? Do you still feel like that same energy, that same vibe?
I do find myself treating it like a real game.
Yeah.
Which is, always funny when you look back at it. But I mean, you got to give credit to all those guys that are behind the scenes making it as real and as fun as possible. I mean, because I've done this since I was a little kid, make a bunch of teams and then simulate the games and, act like we're the broadcasters, but, doing it with hundreds of people, I mean, that's next level. And it's that's why the SFL is so cool. So definitely get that same energy. And, like I was saying earlier about how, Baltimore as an organization, how they operate, that also adds into it, just all of that combined, it definitely does sometimes feel like you're really involved with, like you're really about to step out there and put on the pads.
Indeed. Now you mentioned something about kind of doing that on your own time, but you can be a broadcaster here. Have you ever thought about doing something like that or being involved?
I thought about doing it. But I got my son and everything, so like my schedule is all over the place, and I don't want him banging around and making noise on the broadcast. But if I ever really did have some like true honest time, I would love to actually get out there and maybe do play-by-play or color analyst or whatever, for a game. That'd be awesome.
Dope. What is one valuable lesson that you learned in your tenure here? I mean, from being involved in different locker rooms to different philosophies from coaches, from owners. What are some valuable things that you've learned?
One of the most valuable things I learned about SFL is it's a real like community driven league. So, if you want to get known, if you want your player to be to get more of a spotlight, you got to be more involved yourself. You know, you got to be talking and in the general chat and in the sports chat, you know, just out there, just, you know, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but, you know, just talking with everybody and just being involved. And, you know, that's when I feel like you get the best outcome out of this, you know, just it, if you take it, if you make it more than what it is, you know, it'll be more fun. You know, like if you really treat it like you're about to play a game, hey, it makes it more fun when your players out there making plays, you know. Now, if you treat it like you're just watching some game where, you know, the computer is playing, then hey, you know, it might be a little boring. It might seem weird, whack that, you know, we're out here cheering for our teams and buying jerseys and, you know, buying rings and things like that. But I mean, that's what makes it so fun getting involved. Like, you know, I like the whole role playing aspect of it, you know, like it's like we're in an RPG, but I mean, it's for football. So it makes it that much better, you know. So that's what I would say. The best thing I learned is like, you know, just get involved and be part of your team and make yourself known, whether it's, you know, you're a trash talker like me or, you know, you're a graphic artist or, you know, you just got a lot of cool stories about, you know, what you do in your life, you know, get out there and talk to everybody.
Indeed. And I think that is good advice. What made you come back? I mean, what keeps you here ultimately?
I mean, honestly, I just love the just football period. So,
Yeah.
you know, it really makes up for it when, you know, in 2 weeks when the Super Bowl happens and we don't have any more football. I mean, now that they got USFL and XFL coming around, I mean, that's still cool. But, you know, that SFL, man, you know, that's guaranteed, man. We're definitely gonna be watching that. So that's what really keeps me around. I mean, it's cheap. Like I said, you know, my son gets a kick out of it every time they say his name when he makes a play. When we just got that pick six, man, he was going crazy. He was like, "Oh, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me!" Ah! And it was like, you know, that's what keeps me around. You know, my little boy, he loves it. I love football, so it's just so funny watching the game and just like imagining you're in it too. So that's what keeps me.
Dope. Very dope. Um, what do you think about us transferring or going over to the new game? Now, I know you've definitely watched the gameplay from 2K8, you know, probably used to it. What do you think about the
Right.
new one?
Well, no, I think it's kind of crazy how 2K4 like fundamentally is a better game, even though it's 4 years older. Like you would think that all pro football would have these things in it, but man,
Right.
it seems like they just it brought down my praise for the game. I used to really like all pro football a lot. And then, you know, you go back to like 2K5 and just like the whole like presentation before the game. Like, I don't know why they didn't just keep that and just, you know, add in all this stuff. But I'm like, man, I watched the first game that the commish dropped. And at the very beginning of the game, the player was like waving at the camera, "Hi, mom." I'm like, oh, that's cool as hell. And then the fans were tailgating and had the jerseys on and the logos, and I was like, whoa, like that's next level. How did they not have that? And like they have all this cool BS in 2K8, but they don't have just like the staple of what made 2K football so fun and good. But I mean, the graphics, I wouldn't, I don't really have an issue with the graphics. I just
Mhm.
feel like the way they run is so like linear.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Other than that, I mean, I think it's fine. Like they were showing some rollouts and they were just showing like just the decisions the CPU makes on like third down, fourth down, clock running out. I
Mhm.
mean, all those they were missing so much of this basic stuff in 2K8. So I mean, I think we're gonna get a better product with 2K4. And the best part is like we can download it and play with the teams ourselves. So that I'm like, hell yeah. You know, we can go into season mode with the SFL teams. Like that's next level, you know. So I definitely can't wait for that. So
Indeed.
I'm pretty excited. I think it'll turn out
Yeah, me too. I think we should just give it a chance and see what happens, you know? And I guarantee you this, Cam wouldn't put everything in one basket like that if he didn't believe
good.
that it was
Right.
going to work. This is his livelihood. This is how he makes his money. This is how he, he spends his time. This is what he does. So best believe if it don't work out, he gonna go right back to 2K8. But
exactly.
but I'm interested to see what happens and how everything pans out for everybody. But I have a couple fun questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
So if you could have dinner with one, maybe two people, whether they're alive or whether they're no longer with us, whether they're famous or not, who would they be and why?
That is a good question. Somebody who I'd want to eat dinner with. I don't know. I would probably say like Barack Obama, first black president. I'd probably want to ask him like, I mean, that's got to be the most stressful job in the world. And then, as the first black man as a president, I mean, I got to ask him like what type of experience that was. And I mean, for the most part, from what I see, he seems like a cool dude anyway. So yeah, dinner with Barack Obama, that would be pretty cool.
All right. Sounds good. Now, you're sitting down to have your steak dinner. What kind of steak is it? How is it cooked? And what sides are you eating with it?
Oh, okay. So we might as well get a big old tomahawk since we're with Barack.
All right.
I like it like medium rare. And what was the last question?
Your sides.
For like the steak?
Yeah, like what are you gonna have on the side? Baked potato, mashed potatoes, a salad?
Probably a baked potato. Or a Caesar salad. One of the two. I don't know. Maybe both,
Maybe both. Well, you got a whole tomahawk, bro. That's like 28 ounces.
Right. It'll be nice and full.
All right. I've heard that actually tomahawk is the first one I've heard. That is you're the first person to say that. I got a lot of ribeyes. Slap. Yeah, okay. I guess if you go do it big, huh?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys go back to the Super Bowl, Lord. I mean, it is our Super Bowl, really, the championship game. And if you play in Arizona, y'all ain't gonna get that. But
okay.
If y'all win, I think T-Pat and TJ should go ahead and buy all y'all tomahawk steaks and just send it to you. I know they got it.
Right. You know what? We'll make sure we stamp that for them so they know to send us some nice steaks if we win it.
There you go. Exactly. And tell them that Ashley said that, okay?
Got you.
But Keenan, I'm not going to hold you too much longer, brother. I know, you got things to do and things like that. But you have any questions for me before you go?
Honestly, Ashley, I just want to say thank you. A lot of people don't know this. One of my grandparents had passed away when I was first joining the league. And you were one of the few people that actually check in on me and ask me how I was doing after the fact. So I really appreciate you for that, AJ. So thank you for that. I just want to let everybody know AJ's an awesome person.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I don't do anything. I just try to treat people, everybody the same. And I understand, man, things happen. And sometimes you just need a friend, or you just need even if you're not friends, just a confidant, just somebody that you can just talk to. So I'm glad I could help you in that regard, brother. But I would be remiss if I did not let you get the last word. So that could be a song, that could be a poem, or that can be just a simple shout out. But right now, Keenan, the floor is yours.
You know what? Last words is all I'm gonna say is SFL rest easy week 4. We're on a bye week, so you guys can take a break. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, oh my goodness, look at me. Rest easy. Week 4. We're on a bye week, so hey, you guys are good. Don't worry about Baltimore. We'll see you guys week 5 when we play Charleston.
You better hope y'all don't get all, go out and eat and get all full and
get all fat and
sluggish,
full, right?
Come out there slow. Hey, man. But listen, this is good stuff. Please come back and be
I
on this.
definitely will. I'm gonna make sure I come back for you. I'm gonna make sure I come back and give another one.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. You have a good one and good luck to y'all. Not when you playing us, but good luck.
You too, likewise.
All right. Bye, brother.
All right.
Welcome back to my fourth and goal interview with my good friend Doug Day. He is the GM and strong safety for the Seattle Nemesis. How are you, sir?
We're good. We're good today. Just hanging out.
Listen, this last game, I thought y'all had it. I DM'd you and I said, I thought y'all had that game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So give us the thought process. Do you guys do voice chat at all?
During the game, not a lot because we all have different schedules, and so we're not really able to get in. Okay. You know, so. But
what was going through your mind during that whole game?
Well, T and I were sitting here watching it, and of course, you know, we're yelling at the screen, and we're, you know, yay, ah crap, yay, ah crap. But I mean, it was, you know, we played really well. You can usually tell early how it's going to go, but yesterday was a whole different ball game. I mean, it was, our defense was just hitting people. I mean, we came out and, I mean, even Eddie was making comments about just out there smacking people. But Ryan Roosevelt was a tough one to defend, and you know they got that play down and walked right by our defense a few times, and you know we did a really great job. I think we unplugged the fridge. Quite well, you know, he wasn't going many places that we didn't have covered. So our run game pumped up a little bit. But the big question that people had was, well, at the beginning of the season, it's like, why did you bring in Blue? What's going on with Blue? Well, she made a statement yesterday. And I can pretty much tell you that next week and the week after and the 7, 8, and 9, she's coming. She's getting better. She's, putting in the work. Our D-line, the same thing. Everybody on our team, and we said this last year, it was, we're a young team. But now we're starting to mature. We're starting to get, better. We're starting to get bigger, faster. And you kind of saw that yesterday with their run game. We locked down a team's passing attack. Now we're full circle. But Kanye and that punt return yesterday that was brutal. We need to definitely get our punter a little bit more strength in tackling. But it was we laughed at that because it was like the punter went over and just like got on the back of Kanye and rode him down the field. They just fell off. But it was
I wasn't gonna say nothing about that, but that was kind of funny to see though. But it happens,
Oh yeah.
No, your punters are generic, right?
No, that's Lilac View.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lilac, things happen. I've seen my guys get pancaked, and
oh yeah, and
sidestep, so it happens. But yeah.
We pay her to kick the ball, not tackle. So exactly. But I mean, like I said, it was you guys have been getting better progressively. And that's what you want, especially when you're able to retain most of your team. I had James Cline on earlier,
And, for him, even though there are a lot of rookies, it is who you hang on to for that next season. And then the progressions will start coming, the progressions that you're doing will start showcasing on the field. And in your case, in your guys' case, that's exactly what's starting to happen,
Yeah.
So I don't think teams should take Seattle lightly.
Oh, no. Our locker room's starting to, we're starting, even though we're 0-3, we're still excited. We're still, we brought in Amar and Baloo and Gus, and yesterday was really exciting because I spoke with both of them, actually all three of them, and it was just like, Amar was like, I was out there hitting people, and Gus and Baloo, if you don't know, Baloo is the mom and Gus is the son. Mm-hmm. They both scored touchdowns yesterday. So Gus DM'd me during the game, and he was upset with himself. He says, I should have returned that punt for a touchdown. I was right there. But yeah, it was, we still have an optimistic outlook for the rest of the season.
That's
we just
good.
Get a couple of breaks here and there, and it's on.
And that's good. And that's important. Because also what James and I was talking about, just remaining positive, understanding that this is a football game. I mean, this is a esports game. Like, we're literally not out here getting hurt. Yeah. You're literally just sitting back and having a good time. And if you have a lot of negative people in your locker room, that could kind of bring down the morale. But it's good to hear that you guys, despite, the start, that you guys are still in it and, in it, spiritually and just like all together, the brotherhood, the brother and sisterhood that you have there. That's important. It's important, and that's why you keep people. Indeed. Yeah. So, what do you think is something that you guys should work on the offense and on the defense, in your opinion, to make you a little bit more successful?
Pauly Truth needs to learn how to catch more. I mean, he's just kind of slacking. No, I'm just kidding. He did an outstanding job yesterday. Yeah. I mean, for our offense, we're getting there, but we got to really cut down on the interceptions.
Yeah.
There's some times where we get really clean passes, and then sometimes it's just, the bad bounce, if you will. Our defense, we just got to work on the middle. We got to work on those middle to deep passes, covering a little bit better on those. Our run defense is definitely coming up. I mean, if you look at our defense, we got some monsters. We got some monsters back there. We got Sean Parent on the D line. We got Greg Ward on the D line. Catherine Harrell. Aaron Frankenstein is our big DE, and he's, they're starting to get bigger and better, and more hungry for the quarterback. So better hope we don't play you, Ashley. You know what?
I don't know if you watched our game against Queen City, but I was able to do a little side step. Somebody did. Joseph Sambo. I meant to tell Cline about this, but Joseph Samboka, I'm gonna need you to not tackle me so hard next time, because my back still hurts. That was a little bit too hard. I get the aggression, but bro, calm down. But I was able to sidestep, do a little juke move, do a little get him off. So I don't know why I wouldn't be able to do that to your team as well. So
right. Well, we're still waiting on word from the defensive back that made that interception against us. Mm-hmm. That Pauly Truth sent into the shadow realm. I don't know if you saw our game, but Pauly Truth turned around and said, "Oh, I got something for you."
Where is he?
Right. I think Pauly's still a little upset that Ben Roethlisberger retired, so he had to get some of that frustration out.
Well, it's better to take it out on the field, but I have my thoughts about Ben, but we're not going to even go there. I'm going to wait till Pauly gets on here so I can tell him about himself. But all in all, it's good stuff. Doug, how long have you actually been in the league, though?
I joined season 13, week 5. I was an undrafted free agent. Vancouver had somebody drop out, and he was kind enough to offer me a contract, and I joined as a linebacker. Been here ever since.
So what is the most, and then you brought your wife in too.
Yeah, she actually joined about a year ago, 365 days or so.
So this leads me to my next question. What keeps you here? What made you say, hey, I want to join this group, and we pay our subscriptions, we go through these heartaches and all of this, and then you decided that you wanted to do more for the team and things like that. What keeps you here?
Oh, that's easy. One word: community. I don't know the backstory of everybody in the league, of course, but with me and T, it's just us. So we don't go out and drink and party and, all this other stuff. So, we come in here and it's like we have all these people that we communicate with and we get to know, and, and then we have the honor of meeting these people at the conventions. I was just like, if I would have walked into the convention and Brad Pitt would have been on one side, you would have been on the other, I would have been like, sorry, Brad, that's Ashley, baby. So we got to go meet Ashley. Sorry, Brad, I just, but, to just walk in and be like, oh my God, that's Eddie Gage. Oh my God, there's John. Oh my God, there's Bowline. It's like all these people you talk to in a virtual setting, and then you meet them. I lost it when I met Cam.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, that's him. But and then this past convention, being able to meet Paulie and a bunch of the other guys, and Ethan finally, and all the Minnesota guys, Mickey and Axel, and just, I know I'm leaving a bunch of guys out, but it's just, that's it. There's so many that we'd have to do a 3-hour show just to call out everybody. But I now have a SFL number 1 on my list to meet at a convention, and that's Brett.
Oh yeah,
Alex. See the shows with Alex, and you just how can you not?
I love him. I love him. I love him. And it's funny how everybody is fighting over Brett. Like, if Canton ever decides that, you know what, Brett, we're deciding to go in a different direction. Oh, okay, don't worry about it, because I got like about, I don't know, 20 other teams that wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's that type of personality, and that type of attitude that you just want to be around.
Exactly.
So
exactly. And it's good stuff. And I felt that way too when we had the convention in Atlanta when I was living there. And when I first walked into the room and I saw like Shan Varner, and when I saw like Eddie Gage, and when I saw Damon Simeon, and I was like, oh my God. And then Mark, over in Atlanta, then I saw Atlanta players, and I'm like, this that excitement that you feel like you would feel when you're seeing somebody famous. It is real, and you are a little starstruck. You are a little, like, wow, this is the Hall of Famer, or this is, the top passer in the league, or, the guy that has the most sacks,
Mm-hmm.
And it is a fun thing. And I never thought that I would have been a part of something like this that would have given so much gratification and so much happiness, despite the losses and, the bad things that sometimes happen. Those issues are far and few between. So
that was actually my first real interaction with the SFL. I was searching online, and I came across it, and then it was the Atlanta games. The very first game that I ever saw in the SFL was the Harish is Dead game at the convention, where he fell out on the chair and then somebody was trying to give him CPR. I was like, what is this?
Oh my God.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. And the funny part about it is, it's still there. We still give Harish crap for that.
He gives his own self crap.
Yeah. And he was another one, him and his brother, when I was able to meet them in Texas, it was like, oh my gosh, there's those guys,
Right.
It's like Pseudo and Dave Axis. But we didn't get to meet Dave at the convention because he wasn't there, but meeting him, he was stopped into our town on his way through somewhere, wherever he was going, and was able to meet him in person, and Freddie and Gunny, and here we go. We could sit here all day and just rattle off names, But it's just the community and the people that are a part of it, and the people that really enjoy it are gonna stay. Mm-hmm. The people that are kind of like, well, this is kind of silly, I don't know. Well, bye. Yep. Have a nice day. It's not for you. That's fine.
Because I promise you, we have people joining every day. I think we're over 2,100 in the league right now. So.
Yeah, and what really gets me is there was a guy that joined the other day. Trying to think what his name is. Ray Dizzy. Mm-hmm. Ray Dizzy. When somebody joins, we're always like, "Hey, what position? What are you?" And they say, "You know what? I think I just want to be a fan and just watch." I'm like, "You're more than welcome. Hang out, meet people. One day you want to join a team, join a team. But right now it's just all about I think he said he was from LA and he was asking about the lichens, and we're like, well, not everybody's perfect, so.
Oh my God!
Because we have the lichens next week, so we have to.
Right, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, we have to start bringing our werewolf trash talk. So.
But and that's to your point. Before we get on that, to your point though, that is important to get to know people, and even if they want to just come in, just kind of sit back, chill, watch everything, see how everything works, that is fine too, and it's good to be able to have that balance, because unfortunately everybody that enters the SFL is not going to be a player, or we just don't have the room, so if you sit back and maybe do the history, kind of study, and just enjoy the games for what it is, as if you were a fan of like watching an NFL game or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could build your following as well, and then you don't know who they know that they can bring in, and maybe advertise for you on social things like that. So it's good. Welcome, Ray. If I haven't said anything, welcome, dear. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Oh, definitely. We were watching the games yesterday, and they got this. At the beginning of the game, Cam rolls this footage of the whole game. Mm-hmm. So I saw this one guy, excuse me, Ashley, Johnny English.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know who that is. I've never heard of that guy. And then all of a sudden it was like, that's the history of, that's like the Walter Payton of the SFL, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, who was this guy? Just curiously, it's like, what's he doing now? Is he still in the league? Does he have a player? I don't know.
From my understanding, Johnny English was actually a generic.
Oh, of course.
Because back in the day, season 1 and everything, I think the first actual players started in season 3. And if anybody knows, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But so there was 3 seasons or 2 seasons where generics were playing and making a heck of an impact, And so now it's interesting to see people now surpassing those numbers that they put up. And back then it was like, oh, okay, these are the top tier players, and things like that. Now you're starting to see people grow and things of that nature to surpass them. So it's good stuff, and it's good to actually go back and look at the old records and the old games and understand the teams that have transformed, like the Indianapolis Spitfire, and then you have the Oh my God, the Honolulu Waverlings, and you had the San Francisco Sharks. You had a whole bunch of teams that people just don't know about. And when you look in the history in the archives, it's interesting stuff.
Well, it was funny yesterday because we were watching that, and they were calling the game and saying, like, touchdown Honolulu, and T was like, who's Honolulu?
Honolulu is who Carolina Skyhawks are now.
Ah, Carolinas.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, see, a little interesting stuff like that.
There you go.
We should probably do a show just kind of like a trivia thing, and whoever gets most right. I don't think that if you've been in the league that long enough, though, there has to be kind of a cutoff, because some people, they've been here since season 1, so they would know everything. I don't think it's fair.
You'd be asking the question like, who is? And Eddie Gage would be like, C.
Or T-Pat or anybody.
What year did season 4?
Or Ramos? Yes. See?
Yeah.
All those guys, they would know. But it's good stuff, man.
It's good to hear like Eddie's story about, he was doing something and somebody got to him and brought him into the league, and it was like, just hearing the stories about how those guys, found the league. Because you ask all the time, like, how did you get in the league, or when did it's like, but to hear these guys, and to just like to know the origin story, like, Cam, how exactly did you come up with this, and where it is now? It's just an amazing story.
It is.
You could probably make a Netflix special about it.
You probably could. We definitely have enough footage.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, a couple more questions for you. No, 3 actually. What are your thoughts about your upcoming game against the Los Angeles Lakers?
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge. They always seem like a tough franchise to go up against. I really don't have a lot of experience, because I really don't think we've played them a lot. Because I've been with like 500 teams. So.
Passport stamped and everything.
But just to see who they have in their front office, I can already tell you one, and that's going to be Logan Jack. He's going to be the main one we got to get a hold of, and hog tie, and we'll hog tie him, throw him on the sideline, and have Lilac over there kicking him. But Stoley, those guys over there, Ray and Tom, they can put together a pretty good playbook. So we'll just have to watch the sims and get everything ready. And I think we're going to start running some sims tomorrow. And
today.
Oh, today?
Today.
Sorry, the boss is like, today. We're running it today.
That's right. Tell him, T.
She said, tell him, T. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Just like yesterday, it's like, well, we hope we get our first W. But
close. Oh my gosh.
I mean, once we get our first one, it'll go like I told you a couple months ago. #2 wins.
That's
We're hanging on to that.
Indeed. But with the progressions that you guys got, and who you have, like the Harrells, yourself and things like that, and with Ethan Kai at the helm, I can see you guys definitely getting more than 2 wins.
Yeah,
so.
David and Ethan have really been putting the time and the effort in. Brady's on the defense, and we're just running sims, and we run the sims, T and I, and she puts together the information, the numbers, and but
I love it, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing, I've always admired that when couples get together and they're able to work together, because this is just one more outlet that you guys can do together,
Oh yeah,
and still have that connection. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, fun questions.
Okay.
What? Name either 1 or 2 people that is living or not living anymore, that are famous or even not famous, that you would like to have dinner with, and why?
I really enjoy football, but my love is actually baseball.
Okay.
And one of the people that I always thought would be interesting to, you know how everybody's like, if you could travel back in time, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my thing would be like, if I could go back, I would probably meet up with Honus Wagner.
Ooh,
back in like the 1901, 1902, you know, when he was playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and just, you know, just to see what it was like back then, and, you know, just meet this guy and learn his struggles and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I always thought about that.
Nice. I like that. And it's been interesting, the different responses that I get to this question. Some people are like family members. Some people are like famous people. Some people are saying scholars or biblical biblical people, things of that nature. So it's been interesting. I love that. And last question. You got a beautiful steak. What cut, what temperature, and what size do you have with your steak?
I would have to say 14 ounce ribeye.
Okay.
Medium rare.
Okay.
One little blood on my plate.
Okay. Okay. What are your sides?
Oh, sides would probably be, potato salad. A little potato salad. French fries.
Double potatoes, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know about that mid rare, man.
You probably like yours burnt. Because I mean, you're Packers fan, so I mean. Like,
oh wait, hold on. Did you say Packers?
Aren't you a Packers fan?
Oh, see, you know what? I am a Bears fan. How dare you? How dare you? Just because I got the yellow on, that doesn't mean.
Oh no, Cam was a Packers fan.
Yes, unfortunately, he continues to choose the wrong teams. I don't know why, but
so I mean, you know, both of you guys like things that are burnt. So.
See, well, I mean, I would rather you might as well go out there and just go take a bite out of a cow right now. I mean,
right?
See?
Hey, I live in Oklahoma. That's not hard. Where I work, you could probably look across the fence and see like 3 or 4 of them hanging out there. I'm like, hey, hand me the steak sauce. I'm gonna go out and chomp some.
I mean, it's okay. Everybody likes their particular cut the way they like it for different reasons. I'm more of a medium well fan, depending on what it is. If it's something fatty, kind of like the ribeyes though, I like to have it a little bit more cooked, only because I like the crunch of the fat once it gets like caramelized and things of that nature. To me, that's, you know, I worked at a steakhouse, so it happens, you know.
Okay.
The one thing that used to bother me though was when people got a rare prime rib. And I was just like, because when you look at it, it literally looks like you went out there and just cut a piece off the cow that was just standing there and you put it on a plate. And some people will tell me, hey, I don't want my steak cooked. I'm like, sir, we can't do that. We can't just serve you something that is that raw. We have to cook it at least like a couple minutes on each side. Okay, well, if you have to, like, okay. But tell me, Doug, thank you so much for being on here. First off, I really appreciate it. But do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for me at this time?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, that was good, man. I really appreciate it again. And if you have any shout outs that you would like to give right now, Doug, the floor is yours.
Oh, I just want to give a shout out to the entire Nemesis franchise. You know, everybody came in and they're ready to go, and, you know, we're working hard, getting our progressions in, and, you know, showing up for the game chats, and, you know, locker rooms is quite active here and there, and, you know, we're just waiting for that one little break to, you know, kick us over the next level. So, and it's coming.
Indeed.
It's definitely coming.
Hopefully it's not against us, but, you know, indeed, I do wish you the best.
Well, I figure we'll get a couple of wins, and then we'll go into Minnesota, and we'll handle Axel and BJ and Mickey and those guys.
Okay.
So.
I like that.
We have a little bet. We have a little bet going on. So.
Mm-hmm. So do we. Do you remember? I'm telling you right now, you may just look very good in Arizona colors, man. I can't wait to see it. All right, Doug. Nice seeing you. I appreciate your time.
Have a good day, Ashley.
You too. What is up, SFL Nation? We are back with my 4th and Goal interview featuring my good friend, Mr. Mighty RX, aka Max Pau, the owner of the Florida Storm. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, AJ. You hit me up, and you know how it goes. You hit me up, I rarely, if ever, refuse. So I'm here, following up with you hitting me up. But I'm good. Kind of trying to work ourselves out of a hole that we dug, because we like to make things interesting in South Florida. But I'm good nonetheless.
Yeah, before we get into all of that, I was gonna ask you about that, but I want to know what's new. What's going on with you, man? What's new in the world of Mighty?
Busy, just busy. It's wild how busy. Just busy trying to, like I said, trying to get the team right. Helping Art to get the team right. Busy trying to get us ready for next season that we're going to talk about a little later. Busy trying to make sure the kids are right. Busy making sure that the wife's okay. Busy making sure the daughter that's no longer here okay, right? Because she's not home and it's a little difficult there. And then just busy trying to become as financially independent as possible. So just busy all around while still having enough energy to be, my saying is to be exceptional for the benefit of others, right? Just busy.
Yes, and as much as I admire and I respect that, you also make sure you're taking care of yourself, brother. Don't ever neglect yourself, because if you're not there, then you can't be there for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, lady, I think you're preaching to the choir, right? There's a mirror in front of you right now. You're talking to yourself, right? That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Both of
yeah, I got you. We're here. I got you. We see eye to eye.
Good. Even though I'm 5'2" and you like what, 6?
No way. I'm 6 nothing. If I was 6 something, I'd be so arrogant. God made me this type for a reason. If I was 6 foot, nobody could ever talk to me about nothing. No, you hear me? Nothing. Who are you talking to? Not me. I'm 6 foot. Never. I'd be so prideful. Fully. What? Never. You're short like David for a reason. I gotta lean on somebody for protection and security. I'm not my own. You feel me?
Well, it's funny. When I was looking at some old pictures from, I think it was the convention, or some gathering, and it looked like you were actually tall. And it looked like you were actually. Okay.
No, I am thin enough to look like a spaghetti. I'm stretched out. Don't be fooled.
Gotcha.
The camera adds a couple inches, and I'm not. No way. I'm 5'6" and a half matters.
Well, you still taller than me. I'm 5'2", so you all good, bro. You all good.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, man. Well, it's good stuff. I'm glad that you've been keeping active and keeping busy. Because it is. Once you stop moving, then you can get complacent. So that's good. But on to the major question is, what's going on over there in Florida, man? I mean, like I don't think I've ever seen you guys 0-3.
Have we been on? No, we've had 1-4 starts.
Right.
But hey, we're in the midst of trying something different, something very, very different. And in doing so, we learned a lot of things. We're in quite a dogfight last night with Tulsa, up double digits, and Gabriel Manning did Gabriel Manning things and was able to bring Tulsa back from the dead, and they were able to pull off almost a walk-off touchdown kind of victory. So big ups to them. And like I said, right now we're 0-3, as you said, and we're our nose are back on the grindstone, trying to get ourselves ready to travel to Portland, where we know we got to face Zeke and that crazy defense they got going on this season over there. So we're gonna try to put the best foot forward. Are now gonna put our heads together, see what works. So what's worked so far for us and what has not, and hopefully we're able to catch lightning in a bottle and take off running. So that's about it. Just we're just trying new, like I said, we're just trying new things, and some has worked, some has not, and it's trying to get the right things called at the right time and trying to get certain things not called at all. That's where we at. So, but it's as I tell everyone that panics early, because there have been many times when someone has snuck into my DMs. I'm like, who you? And like, man, you don't understand. I'm like, bruh, it's a long season.
It is.
And by the end of the said season, look at that. They're in much better shape than they were originally. Like, told you it's a long season. So we're not pressing the panic button quite yet. But we do know there's work ahead to be done.
Indeed. And if I know you, and I know this ball club like I think I do, you're always trying something different. You're always getting rid of the old playbooks and onto the new ones and onto different looks, just to kind of confuse your opponents and things like that. So I have faith, that you guys are going to turn things around, and
that's appreciated. And I see y'all are doing big things in Arizona with my boy Two Scoops down there.
So we trying, bro. We trying.
I see. Hey, listen. I might not talk as much as I used to in whatever chats you used to see me in, but I'm always watching. Always.
Yeah, that's why you got that big eye right behind you. Because you're always
always watching. Yes, man. Always watching.
So, what has been some of your favorite games to watch this season? Like some of your favorite matchups? I mean, I know it's only week 3. I don't know if you've ever been able to catch any of the SFL action, but has there been any of your favorites or ones that kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I haven't watched entire games. I've watched large chunks, and the 2 defensive ball games last night were that Vancouver Atlanta game was wild. That Canton's defense has been a stick this season. So those games, for the people at home that don't know, I like defense. I don't like offense. I actually, don't take this the wrong way, I don't like quarterbacks. The only quarterback I like is my own. I like Ron. Ron's good people. Ron's a storm. We like Ron. All the other quarterbacks, sorry, we don't like y'all. So I like defense. So when I see defenses that are well coordinated, right? Because it's control. Defense is control chaos. It's a bunch of guys just running around and looking for things to hit that aren't wearing the same jerseys as they are. And sometimes they miss. That's when the other team scores touchdowns. But sometimes when they do, you see explosions, sacks, big hits, right? I like seeing that. It's to me, it's such a beautiful thing, right? Offense is organized. Offense is like a dance. Don't step on each other's toes. Oh my Lord, you stubbed my toe. I can't. No. See, I ain't got time for none of that. I'm not pretty, not cute, right? I want to hit things, moving fast, and do it again, and again, and again. And that's why I like defense. So the Canton's defense, the way they've been balling out of control, that Vancouver Atlanta game last night was very nice, and I'm hoping to see more defensive ball games like that, because that lets me know that coaching in this league is very good, right? We had a good inkling with last season having a bunch of 75 teams, right, for the first time ever.
Yes.
Right? It's this season's almost like they raised it one more echelon, which is great to see, and meaning the league, at least coaching wise, is in great hands.
I definitely agree with you. Not about the offense, that kind of thing. But I mean, I'm a fan of defense, but I'm an offensive player. So I mean, the only way you're gonna win is if you actually score. So you kind of need us. But anyway, but I totally agree that this season. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Pick sixes and stuff. I know exactly. But it has been a very competitive season, and you can see that, like you're saying, through the gameplay, through the scores, how close these games are. They're within 3. It's an exciting ball to watch. And I find it interesting because we will be switching over to the new game, and in my opinion, I think it's going to be an even playing field, and I'm interested to see how new coaches, the newer coaches, will dive into it, and then how the older heads like you, like been in the league for forever, how you guys are going to adapt and adjust to that new game. Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on us switching to 2K4?
You calling me old? Is that what I heard?
No, I said,
actually, that's what's going on. You invited me to.
Whoa. I said old head.
That's no better.
Okay. Hold on.
No better.
Seasoned. Bro, we're the same age.
I'm just saying that don't mean nothing. Listen. That's not what we're gonna do. Experience, seasoned. What am I? No, seasoned.
Aged like fine wine.
And aged, you're making it worse, ma'am. You're making it worse. No, but it's a two-edged sword, right? There's some trepidation because we don't exactly. Well, when I mean we, a lot of the coaches and the guys involved in front offenses are having to explain things to players about why this is occurring, why is that the platform we have decided to choose to carry on, and for the further iterations of the league, right? Right. So you're having to explain that as to that. There's some trepidation because certain plays that certain coaches like to lean on, they have no idea if those plays, 1, exist, 2, will work the same way they've been working, right? So there's some there's a lot of homework that will be required for teams to remain successful or to be successful. But I'm not one that has ever bowed down to challenges, so I'm accepting this new challenge and having played around with the game at least for the past month or so, in some way, shape, form, just trying to see how it goes, how the computer goes about processing certain things, what plays are there, how varied are playbooks and personnel packages, and how the defense reacts to certain things, and how the offense reacts to the defense reacting to certain things, and vice versa. So it's gonna be a nice chess match, and at the onset, though, yes, everyone is starting from the same starting point, right? You will see who put in the work early on, at least, right? The people that put in the work, firstly, understanding how the game works, understanding how the personnel fits to what they're trying to accomplish, understanding the limitations of said personnel, how to put a playbook together that will be cohesive enough to be competitive, more often than not, so they're able to pull out a victory, how the AI processes, 2-minute drills, 5-minute offense, and the like. Is there any timeout cheese? Is there any out route cheese and stuff like that? So all that is going to be a work in progress, as the going into the season, as the season wanes, and the people that are able to make the proper adjustments will be the teams that are successful, at least initially, and from then we'll see what's what.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I'm not sure if you took notice of the different channels that we've added to the Discord.
I muted all of them.
I bet. But what are your thoughts on that? What do you think that?
Go ahead. Finish your thought, and I'll jump in and tell you.
I was wondering, do you think that was kind of a good move to kind of give everybody a little bit of something that they like? Do you think that that's maybe a little bit too much? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh no, I don't think it's too much, because you now are able to, I won't say cater to, but you give everyone opportunity to get to some things they like, right? Besides Gen Chat, besides your locker room, now you have other areas where you could maybe if you have suggestions, you throw your suggestions there. Maybe you've had 6 to 6 issues. You got a 6 to 6 place where you could, hey, my jersey taking 10 months to get to me, right? What's going on? Right? You have a place where if you want to get involved with Jack's data with their, crazy power rankings and numbers that are that are use science and some magic and trigonometry and stuff that I don't comprehend and I'm not trying to because it gives me a headache. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have many areas for each and every one to kind of find their footing. We got a over 18 Gen Chat. I've won in there once. I saw my boy Liam from London, and I walked out slowly, like was that home into the bushes, because that's not my cup of tea, But for some it is. So it's just to have a little bit for everything, right? For all ages, for all tastes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind it, and like I said, I mute all of them. When I get into Discord, I look at the owner's chat. Then I go back to my locker room because I got a bunch of personalities to manage down there, and there's never a dull moment. So unless I get tagged into one of the other channels, they ain't gonna catch me. But it's to each his own. That's it. To each his own.
Okay. One of my hot topic questions that I asked for the week was, do you think that the championship game should be played on a neutral field? This question actually came out of the suggestions box, and I thought it was a good one because you know how they say home field advantage could possibly turn the game. Do you think it's possible, even with All Pro what we're using now, to actually have it at a neutral field so that maybe both teams can have more of a balanced chance? Or is there such thing as home field advantage in 2K8?
Well, apparently, I don't know. If you look at our season so far, ain't no home field advantage. What does that mean? We're 0-2 at home right now, so apparently there ain't no such thing. But neither here nor there. When it comes to that, this is how I would put it. If we take ourselves as seriously as we believe that we do, name another sports league, professional sports league, where the championship game is played at a neutral site. Yeah. The reason why it's taking you a while to process, because that's not a thing. In paid sports leagues, the home team, the team that worked hard to get that number 1 seed to be the best team in the league, earn the right to host. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, right? Mm-hmm. Although the best team host the championship game, whether it's a one-off where it's a one game and like in football, or it's a series where the home team gets the 1 extra game. So if we are a professional football league, then no, the home team earned the right to be exactly that.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you. I kind of figured you were gonna go there, but thank you for proving me right.
You know, as much as I get on you, I got your back.
Exactly, you do. What is no, we're only into week 3, heading into week 4 right now, but who would you say has the best offense, the best defense, and the best special teams as of right now?
Well, if we go off numbers, okay, Vancouver's defense has been a stick all season. So, hey, I am one of the few people that like to give Andy the props he deserves, because Andy does big things. When Andy does big things, this guy here will make sure that Andy gets his props. So my boy Andy Hamilton is doing, his defense has been carrying the water, so to say, in Vancouver so far this season. So offensively, I mean, how can you not like the defending champs? Like their offense is high flying when it needs to be, and grind it, and can grind it out when necessary as well, right? Mm-hmm. So far this, I would say, yeah, Baltimore's offense. Now special teams. having being fresh kicked my behind by Gabriel Manning. He's been kind of good. He's spent his entire career just being a thorn in everybody's side that he faces. So I'm gonna give Tulsa the edge just because of Gabriel Manning and the fresh memory of him taking that to the house last night right after halftime. Then and flipped the game on his head. Just flipped it like a gymnast.
You know, it's funny because as expensive as he is, he better be effective. You know,
we have had our fair share of players who were highly valued, but whose productivity did not match the value. So I will never knock the hustle. I am not the one to knock a man hustle. Never. I will not ask for someone to be deposed or disposed of ever. So I will give props where the props is due, and the young man, get your bread. If they're willing to say it, don't deny it. Just take it, and then you just prove them right. And you've been proving them right more often than not.
Indeed.
So how can I hate? I must congratulate. Let's go.
There you go. We have a lot of new rookies in the league, and they're looking for guidance. They're looking for direction. What are some advice that someone such as yourself that's been in the league for many moons? Is that better?
I'm experienced. Just say that.
Okay, oh my God. Okay. Experienced as yourself.
Look at that. I like that. The respect I deserve. That's correct. Anyways, I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead. Let's finish your question. I'm sorry.
Okay. What is some advice that you would have for the rookies that are coming in? You know, because we have over 2,100 now.
It all depends on the type of experience that you're looking for.
Okay.
Right? If they're happy to be in the league, they're happy to see their player and their name called on game day and them being able to perform amazing feats, then you're home, baby. You know what I'm saying? If they're looking to be more, if they're looking to contribute in some way, shape, form, if they're looking to help, I don't know, help the COC run, you know what I'm saying, keep people in the straight and narrow. Hey, if you're all about rules, holla at my girl Ashley, right? She can help. She could use an assistant to make to make sure things are ran properly, right? If you want to be behind the scenes, whether it be doing stats or writing articles, hey, you're a writer, you got that talent, man, hit up them boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and write articles for all day, every day. I've dabbled in all that, by the way. If you like to talk, as this guy right here does, because as you can see, I never shut up. Why don't you throw up a podcast? You know what I'm saying? Throw up a ridiculous theme and invite some guests on. Invite guests that have been forgotten. Like, I don't know, owners that you've never seen. Like we do in the off season in the Elite podcast. See, just think something like that, right? Or if you want to be part of the front office, where you get to talk to other rookies and possible free agents and try to lure them to your team. Psst, we're always looking at the storm, right? You could holler at your owner and be like, hey, I would like to assist the GM. Or what do I need to do to get into that front office? And there's no owner that will look at you and turn down help. None. And if they do, come to me. I will talk to them. Have no worries. We're going to find you a spot to land, right? And if per se, you have that itch to want to lead a group of men and women onto the field and want to strategize and want to play chess and move pieces around and hope to see the result that you desire, you gotta holler at a coach first. I mean, you gotta holler at your owner first. Be like, I'd like to scout, because no coach is gonna hand over the keys to the Ferrari to someone that's never shown that they could drive, right? But you gotta learn to scout. You gotta be like Daniel Cline. You gotta learn to wax on and wax off first. You gotta clean the Ferrari first, my boy, before you get to drive, right? But if in turn you have decided that driving is fine, but you want to lead the franchise, that is possible as well. So there are many avenues for you rookies to land. Oh, I forgot to say last but not least, if you would like to soothe someone's ear with your sultry voice doing broadcasting, you could always hit up Mike Dags, right? The co-head Aztec, with my kicking brother from another mother, Ramos, right? Hit up Mike Dags. If you want to be part of the broadcast team, he would gladly take you on, because help is always needed in that area, right? So there are many avenues, many places for how can I say, people that want to contribute. So don't be shy, bashful. If you don't know whom to ask or where to ask, I mean, you got a whole gen chat. You have in your locker room. You can tag the owner, tag your DOC, tag your DM, tag your head coach. Wow, so many guys that you could reach out to help lead you where you need to go. And if you don't know who they are, tag me at Mighty RX. I'll help you. No worries.
First off, you sounded just like an infomercial. That's why I had to sit back and just like,
I've been up many a late night. Watching what? What's that boy, that Billy? His first name is Billy with that patch. So he slapped that water tank.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy there. Yeah, what? Many and I have I've had that in the background.
And I always wondered whether that stuff actually worked or not. But I'm like,
oh, dog, yeah. I said, throw it on the boat. Go on the lake. Yeah, I don't know if
it drowned.
Oh Lord, you said drown. I say all that now. Now don't come after me. She said it.
Okay, you saw a whole boat in half and you put it together with some tape. What do you think is gonna happen? I hope you can swim, and I hope you're not out there in Louisiana with all them gators out there, because you're gonna get.
Oh, funny you say that. So one of my coworkers found a baby turtle in his on his back patio, like size of a quarter, right? So he put the baby turtle, like it was dehydrated. He poured some water on the baby turtle. He made sure to not touch the turtle with his hands.
Okay.
So he scooped up the turtle, and he was making his way, because there's a lake behind his house. Mm-hmm. He was making sure that he didn't imprint the turtle or anything. So he's making his way to the lake with he and his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was about to step on something. So he pushed her to the side to save her. I'm like, did you push her to the side? Did you push her onto, or did you use that as a shield? What's going on? Like, no, I pushed her aside to save her. Why? She was about to step on a water moccasin. Yes, we have those amongst many of the wildlife in South Florida. So he grabbed the water moccasin, chucked into the lake, put the turtle by the shore so the turtle could go back, hopefully find the rest of his life by the lake. So I bring that up to say, yeah, it's not just in Louisiana that you have interesting fauna, right? Fauna, yes, because flora is plants.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, y'all can have it.
What you mean? And we also got dinosaurs and big. Talk about gators. We got some of them too. Big dinosaurs. big like. Just
oh yeah, I've seen people wrestling in Florida.
Oh, like, all the time. All the time.
Listen. I think y'all should wrestle people, not animals. But hey, to each his own, right? To each his own.
Wrestle. What are you doing over there in Arizona?
Wrestle people, yes.
Oh no! What? Why are we wrestling people? People are nice.
WCW? Come on, bro.
No, we don't wrestle people. Oh, what are you doing?
And I also wanted to make a suggestion to you. When life kind of mellows out for you, probably.
I got 4 kids and a wife, and I need a team. I ain't mellowing out nothing.
I was gonna say, why should be a broadcaster? I mean, you like to talk, and you have the voice for it, you have the knowledge for it.
Oh, the one time I broadcasted, you could pull it up. It was season 11. I did Carolina, Baltimore. It was me and my boy Eric Vincent. What up, DK? And oh Lord of mercy, I sounded like a robot. Oh, that was bad. Oh Lord. Like, I was so analytical. I was too analytical. Well, here, you see there in weak guy jokers, and they're about to run the weak stretch at the 4-3 defense at Baltimore. It was terrible. It was bad.
Oh, no, man.
It was no good. So, no, that's the broadcast is not for me. Now, after the fact, pontificating. Oh, yeah, I'm a blowhard. So I could skip Bayless with the best of them, right? But while it's going on, not my thing.
I mean, I guess I understand that, but heck, when my first broadcast was with EK, and he is such a patient person. I swear, I love him.
EK is great.
He is such a patient person.
The best.
Or was it Trillo?
Oh, Trillo.
Both of them are.
I gotta hit up Trillo because he hooked up some jersey. He's been hard at work putting jerseys, putting jerseys together for this new game. I gotta hit him up so he could hook me up with or at least introduce me, explain to me how to do it for the Storm.
Oh yeah, he'll do it.
And then them Floridians, man, they're helpful. I tell you.
Yes, you guys are. I can't even deny that. But yeah, I mean, you did better than me because they could barely hear me. You know, I'm thinking I'm doing SFL Nights with A.J.Striker or something. You know, and I'm like, you're calling the game, ma'am. You need to. And then I was scared to death.
Old and aged in that game too. Were you calling people old and aged in that game too? No, is that what's going on?
No, I could barely see their number. I was trying to figure out who the hell they were. Oh, that was number 45. Oh,
yeah.
Lord, oh my God! But I'm gonna let you go. But I got 2 more questions. Look, so perfect steak for you. What cut is it? What temperature is it cooked? And what are your sides?
Steak? I'm not really a steak guy.
Oh,
I'm not. Now give me a medium well. Yeah, we'll do me. Be a medium well, filet mignon. And I'm good. I don't like I've heard people use steak sauce. I'm like, why are you ruining meat? Right? Like you know what I'm saying? People that like their food well done. Yeah, I'm talking to all of y'all. Well, all you well done people. Like if you want to eat burnt some, just eat charcoal. What you burning meat for? Yeah, God's sacred creatures that sacrifice themselves to feed you, and you gonna burn them to death? What's wrong with y'all? No more well done. None of y'all at home. If you can hear me, no more well done. Yeah.
So you adamant about that one.
No, yeah, it's just I had to educate many of folks. And definitely not. Don't sully steak with steak sauce. That's ridiculous. The chef took his time to make the steak to your liking. Eat it as such. Add maybe a pinch. Like you seen that dude on YouTube that does it. A pinch of salt. That's it. That's it. Done.
Wait. Yeah, exactly. And that's, I agree. And even if you taste it, at least taste your food first, right? Just make sure that it's seasoned properly. Then if you want to add a little steak sauce to it, okay. I mean, I guess. But like, hold on one second. Sweetheart.
You want to be part of the podcast?
Clearly.
And Co. It's A.J.Striker and Co. That's what it is now.
Exactly. Find a way. But yeah, I understand that. I get that. And filet mignon is actually a pretty good cut. Very tender. For it not to have any fat content, which is probably why you enjoy it, because it's not all fatty and gristly and all of that stuff too. So I get that. All right.
Keep all that. I'm good.
If you can have dinner with one person or 2 people that's dead or alive, that is famous or not famous, who would they be and why?
With one person, I had. This is gonna sound crazy. I would like to have dinner with Jesus, because I have questions, many a question.
Okay.
Just pick his brain about things, about why he made humans the way he made humans, because a lot of us ain't got no sense. Like, seriously, no sense, none at all. Sense. Who needs it? Get out the window. Like, none at all. Why'd you do that? I don't know. Like, seriously, that's the answer I get a lot. I don't know. So I'd like to have a conversation. That'd be a fun. That'd be a fit. Listen, we will close out that restaurant because my goodness. Hey, if I get on the topic, I could go. So we will close that place out.
Indeed. Indeed. That's an interesting one. That's a new one. I mean, that I've heard
Yeah.
biblical figures before. But not Jesus. So that's a good one.
Why not? I get a chance to stand with the King of Kings. Like, hey, hold up, my boy. I am coming. Can I bring company? No, just me. Sorry. Like, I get all the keys to me. Like, what do I need to do? Oh, really? Let me write this down. Like, why not? Everyone else, posers. Like, you're listen, I'm not going to dinner to be impressed. I'm going, we're the same age, correct? Yeah. We're at a spot where it's time to be productive as productive can be and make every second count.
That's right.
It's difficult to impress me. I will give everyone their flowers. If I get one shot, I want to make sure that shot don't miss. You get one shot for $1 million. Give me a layup. That's my layup.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only person?
That's it.
Okay. That's enough. I mean,
that's plenty. Yeah. The other person I've been married to for 25 years. So I'm good. Like, what else I need? What else I need?
All right. That was dope. I like that. And I have been getting some interesting answers.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
You're only 3 people away from anybody you ever need. 3. You got 3 people. You have one person in your life right now that you know that could get you to President Biden. That could get you to Putin. That could get you to any world leader. That could get you to Elon. That could get you to Bill Gates. You're 3 people away. 3. 3. So you asked me about dinner with somebody. Everybody else I could get at. Why not try to get to at the best, at the top of the mountain? That's what I'm saying. So if you ever need something, yes, you're 3 people away. You just need to know the right door to knock on.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. I never thought about it at all, actually.
Especially now you're in government. Oh, you're definitely 3 people away from anybody there.
That's true.
See? Damn. Look at that. You got pulled. You got swayed. Hey, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to talk more about that off camera, but that was good stuff, man. And that's the reason why I like talking to you, Mighty. Because, we have our laughs and everything, but then you'll wind up saying something that's real and that resonates with not just me. I'm hoping that anybody else that listens to this podcast. And that was real and that was cool. And
I told you, I've been leading on. If anyone ever sees me on Twitter or follows me on Twitter and you read my profile, it says exactly that I am to be exceptional for the benefit of others. That's the only reason I'm here. I ain't here for me. I'm here to make sure that I'm as great as possible so everyone else can be as great as they can be. That's it. I play my role. Play my position, like they used to say back in the rap game.
Okay. Good stuff, man. Before I let you go, Mighty, do you have any questions for me?
Not really, because like I posed them prior to us going live, so I'm good.
Okay.
But I appreciate you. And I appreciate you because I show up. If I didn't appreciate you, I'd blow you off. I wouldn't even answer the DM. Who this? New phone, who this? That's what I mean. But I didn't do that. No, I showed up.
Within a day. Shit, it wasn't no weeks.
Yeah. My wife got on me on that too. Like, how? What? You respond in a day? Yes, your boy's effective. Like, I ain't got time for that.
I love it. Speaking of which, is your wife ever going to join the league? Maybe be a part of the Florida song?
That lady, no. That lady don't like sports.
Oh.
She likes, how can I say this? She likes the ambiance, not the event. So if we go live, like if we go to a Heat game, because I live in South Florida. So if we go to a Heat game or go to watch the Dolphins or watch the Panthers, she's all down for it because she likes the ambiance. She likes being around the people, how the web, the ebb and flows of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Riding that. She likes that. But the actual competition occurring, okay, let's go.
Okay. What is halfway there? Maybe we can get her on the other half and then, okay.
No, because it happens on the screen. If you're able to plug her into the stadium as it's occurring and Trillo's like on the call, the cam's on the call, it's different. But it's on the screen and she does not like rectangles.
I got you, man. I got you. All right, man. I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to little old me. I really, really appreciate it. And if you have any shout outs or any songs or any poems, or any quotes.
I sound like a wounded cat. We said we've been over this already. I can't sing.
Well, you always say that, but one day I
will say, I will tell the people this. Tomorrow would have been my granddad's 93rd? No, so 94th. Yes. No. What am I doing? 95, 96? 93rd. That's right. 103? Was it 23? He'd been, 93 tomorrow. He passed away last year. I say that to say this. Not for a sad moment. That's not what we're doing here. I'm saying you never know when your loved ones are going to go. Make sure you hug them if they're close. If they're not, make sure you call them. There's no argument too big. There's no situation that you've been through that you cannot get over. If you can't get over it, get therapy. If you tell me therapy is for the week, I will tell you next time you get injured, don't go to the hospital. Oh, you said that doesn't make sense? You're right. So apparently you're not weak if you go to the hospital. So you're not weak if you seek therapy because you're trying to mend a wound. So please hug your loved ones. Tell them you appreciate them. Even if they try to fight you off like Pepe Le Pew, right? Chasing the lady. Come here, ma chérie. Right? Even if they try to fight you off, make sure you hug them. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Tomorrow is not promised. I don't care how robust you are, how strong you've been. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So make sure you let them know how much you love them and be there. That's how they know you care. That's all I got.
Great advice. Thank you, Mighty. Good luck to you for the rest of the season. I mean, unless you're playing us. And we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
That is it. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Special shout out and thanks goes out to James Cline, Robert Brady Jr., Jstin Reside, Mighty RX, Doug Day, Keenan Samuels, and of course, my good friend and co-host, Diggy. You have any words of wisdom for anybody tonight?
Stay safe and stay sane. That's about it.
Bro. You right about that because it's really easy.
This stuff can. You tell her bye. Say goodbye, Ashlyn.
Bye,
she don't talk much.
No, that's not. And that's probably a good thing too. There's no stranger danger here, buddy. But everybody, thank y'all so much for watching. We really appreciate you for coming out. And I cannot wait to bring you another great podcast next week. But until then, y'all, stay safe, treat each other well. For Diggy, Striker, we're out.